hospital. And finally, in golf, and Rory McIlroy has revealed how a conversation with Phil Mickelson around 15 years ago helped him to finally end his misery at the Masters. The world number 2 became the 6th male golfer and the first European to complete the career Grand Slam when he beat Justin Rose in a playoff last April, ending an 11-year wait for his 5th major and the green jacket that had so long eluded him. But it was Mickelson's words of advice during a practice round in the past that helped change McIlroy's perception of the iconic Augusta National course. McIlroy said, "I played a practice round with Phil Mickelson maybe 10 or 15 years ago, probably closer to 15, and I always remember he said to me, 'Rory, one of the reasons I love Augusta is because I feel I can be so aggressive here.' I remember thinking, what does he mean? I feel the opposite. I feel I can't be aggressive here because there's so many bad places to miss. But Phil had so much, still has probably faith in the short game, that if he does miss his approach shots by being aggressive, he still feels he can get that ball up and down." That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We're beginning at football, and it was a mixed night for the English sides in action in the UEFA Champions League second legs, as Liverpool managed to progress to the quarter-finals. They defeated Galatasaray by 4-0 at Anfield, winning the tie 4-1 on aggregate. However, there was disappointment for both Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle United. Spurs, although winning 3-2 at home against Atletico Madrid, they lost the tie 7-5 on aggregate, while for Newcastle, well, they drew the first leg 1-1 at St James's Park. However, they were thumped 7-2 by Barcelona at the Nou Camp. Newcastle were 3-2 behind at the break, having competed for the first 45 minutes, but they were blown away in the second half. Barcelona winning the tie 8-3 on aggregate. There was also a big aggregate scoreline for Bayern Munich as they defeated Atalanta 10-2. They won the second leg 4-1. Also in football, and Southampton have moved into the Championship playoff positions after a hard-fought 1-0 victory against Norwich City at St Mary's. The only goal of the game came through Femi Azaz in the 24th minute. It means the Saints are now into 6th position. They're ahead of Wrexham on 7th, who are level on points, but the Saints have a better goal difference. As for Norwich, they're 12th in the standings. They're 9 points off the top 6. Moving on to darts now, and Gian van Veen has withdrawn from night 7 in the Premier League in Dublin after being diagnosed with kidney stones. The Dutch number 1 had been due to face Michael van Gerwen in Thursday night's quarter-final matchup, with the latter now receiving a bye through to the semi-finals. MVG also receives 2 league points and a +1 leg difference, while Van Veen surrenders a -6 leg difference and gets no points. Van Veen, he currently sits in 4th place through 6 nights after finishing runner-up 3 times, but he has been ruled out while he remains in hospital. And finally, in golf, and Rory McIlroy has revealed how a conversation with Phil Mickelson around 15 years ago helped him to finally end his misery at the Masters. The world number 2 became the 6th male golfer and the first European to complete the career Grand Slam when he beat Justin Rose in a playoff last April, ending an 11-year wait for his 5th major and the green jacket that had so long eluded him. But it was Mickelson's words of advice during a practice round in the past that helped change McIlroy's perception of the iconic Augusta National course. McIlroy said, "I played a practice round with Phil Mickelson maybe 10 or 15 years ago, probably closer to 15, and I always remember he said to me, 'Rory, one of the reasons I love Augusta is because I feel I can be so aggressive here.' I remember thinking, what does he mean? I feel the opposite. I feel I can't be aggressive here because there's so many bad places to miss. But Phil had so much, still has probably faith in the short game, that if he does miss his approach shots by being aggressive, he still feels he can get that ball up and down." That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We're beginning at football, and it was a mixed night for the English sides in action in the UEFA Champions League second legs, as Liverpool managed to progress to the quarter-finals. They defeated Galatasaray by 4-0 at Anfield, winning the tie 4-1 on aggregate. However, there was disappointment for both Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle United. Spurs, although winning 3-2 at home against Atletico Madrid, they lost the tie 7-5 on aggregate, while for Newcastle, well, they drew the first leg 1-1 at St James's Park. However, they were thumped 7-2 by Barcelona at the Nou Camp. Newcastle were 3-2 behind at the break, having competed for the first 45 minutes, but they were blown away in the second half. Barcelona winning the tie 8-3 on aggregate. There was also a big aggregate scoreline for Bayern Munich as they defeated Atalanta 10-2. They won the second leg 4-1. Also in football, and Southampton have moved into the Championship playoff positions after a hard-fought 1-0 victory against Norwich City at St Mary's. The only goal of the game came through Femi Azaz in the 24th minute. It means the Saints are now into 6th position. They're ahead of Wrexham on 7th, who are level on points, but the Saints have a better goal difference. As for Norwich, they're 12th in the standings. They're 9 points off the top 6. Moving on to darts now, and Gian van Veen has withdrawn from night 7 in the Premier League in Dublin after being diagnosed with kidney stones. The Dutch number 1 had been due to face Michael van Gerwen in Thursday night's quarter-final matchup, with the latter now receiving a bye through to the semi-finals. MVG also receives 2 league points and a +1 leg difference, while Van Veen surrenders a -6 leg difference and gets no points. Van Veen, he currently sits in 4th place through 6 nights after finishing runner-up 3 times, but he has been ruled out while he remains in hospital. And finally in golf, and Rory McIlroy has revealed how a conversation with Phil Mickelson around 15 years ago helped him to finally end his misery at the Masters. The world number 2 became the 6th male golfer and the first European to complete the career Grand Slam when he beat Justin Rose in a playoff last April, ending an 11-year wait for his 5th major and the green jacket that had so long eluded him. But it was Mickelson's words of advice during a practice round in the past that helped change McIlroy's perception of the iconic Augusta National course. McIlroy said, "I played a practice round with Phil Mickelson maybe 10 or 15 years ago, probably closer to 15, and I always remember he said to me, 'Rory, one of the reasons I love Augusta is because I feel I can be so aggressive here.' I remember thinking, what does he mean? I feel the opposite. I feel I can't be aggressive here because there's so many bad places to miss. But Phil had so much, still has probably faith in the short game, that if he does miss his approach shots by being aggressive, he still feels he can get that ball up and down." That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We'll begin in football, and it was a mixed night for the English sides in action in the UEFA Champions League second legs, as Liverpool managed to progress to the quarter-finals. They defeated Galatasaray by 4-0 at Anfield, winning the tie 4-1 on aggregate. However, there was disappointment for both Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle United. Spurs, although winning 3-2 at home against Atletico Madrid, they lost the tie 7-5 on aggregate, while for Newcastle, well, they drew the first leg 1-1 at St James's Park. However, they were thumped 7-2 by Barcelona at the Nou Camp. Newcastle were 3-2 behind at the break, having competed for the first 45 minutes, but they were blown away in the second half. Barcelona winning the tie 8-3 on aggregate. There was also a big aggregate scoreline for Bayern Munich as they defeated Atalanta 10-2. They won the second leg 4-1. Also in football, and Southampton have moved into the Championship playoff positions after a hard-fought 1-0 victory against Norwich City at St Mary's. The only goal of the game came through Femi Azaz in the 24th minute. It means the Saints are now into 6th position. They're ahead of Wrexham on 7th, who are level on points, but the Saints have a better goal difference. As for Norwich, they're 12th in the standings. They're 9 points off the top 6. Moving on to darts now, and Gian van Veen has withdrawn from night 7 in the Premier League in Dublin after being diagnosed with kidney stones. The Dutch number 1 had been due to face Michael van Gerwen in Thursday night's quarter-final matchup, with the latter now receiving a bye through to the semi-finals. MVG also receives 2 league points and a +1 leg difference, while Van Veen surrenders a -6 leg difference and gets no points. Van Veen, he currently sits in 4th place through 6 nights after finishing runner-up 3 times, but he has been ruled out while he remains in hospital. And finally in golf, and Rory McIlroy has revealed how a conversation with Phil Mickelson around 15 years ago helped him to finally end his misery at the Masters. The world number 2 became the 6th male golfer and the first European to complete the career Grand Slam when he beat Justin Rose in a playoff last April, ending an 11-year wait for his 5th major and the green jacket that had so long eluded him. But it was Mickelson's words of advice during a practice round in the past that helped change McIlroy's perception of the iconic Augusta National course. McIlroy said, "I played a practice round with Phil Mickelson maybe 10 or 15 years ago, probably closer to 15, and I always remember he said to me, 'Rory, one of the reasons I love Augusta is because I feel I can be so aggressive here.' I remember thinking, what does he mean? I feel the opposite. I feel I can't be aggressive here because there's so many bad places to miss. But Phil had so much, still has probably faith in the short game, that if he does miss his approach shots by being aggressive, he still feels he can get that ball up and down." That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We're beginning at football, and it was a mixed night for the English sides in action in the UEFA Champions League second legs as Liverpool managed to progress to the quarter-finals. They defeated Galatasaray by 4-0 at Anfield, winning the tie 4-1 on aggregate. However, there was disappointment for both Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle United. Spurs, although winning 3-2 at home against Atletico Madrid, they lost the tie 7-5 on aggregate, while for Newcastle, they drew the first leg 1-1 at St James's Park. However, they were thumped 7-2 by Barcelona at the Nou Camp. Newcastle were 3-2 behind at the break, having competed for the first 45 minutes, but they were blown away in the second half. Barcelona winning the tie 8-3 on aggregate. There was also a big aggregate scoreline for Bayern Munich as they defeated Atalanta 10-2. They won the second leg 4-1. Also in football, and Southampton have moved into the Championship playoff positions after a hard-fought 1-0 victory against Norwich City at St Mary's. The only goal of the game came through Femi Azaz in the 24th minute. It means the Saints are now into 6th position. They're ahead of Wrexham on 7th, who are level on points, but the Saints have a better goal difference. As for Norwich, they're 12th in the standings. They're 9 points off the top 6. Moving on to darts now, and Gian van Veen has withdrawn from night 7 in the Premier League in Dublin after being diagnosed with kidney stones. The Dutch number 1 had been due to face Michael van Gerwen in Thursday night's quarter-final matchup, with the latter now receiving a bye through to the semi-finals. MVG also receives 2 league points and a +1 leg difference, while Van Veen surrenders a -6 leg difference and gets no points. Van Veen, he currently sits in 4th place through 6 nights after finishing runner-up 3 times, but he has been ruled out while he remains in hospital. And finally in golf, and Rory McIlroy has revealed how a conversation with Phil Mickelson around 15 years ago helped him to finally end his misery at the Masters. The world number 2 became the 6th male golfer and the first European to complete the career Grand Slam when he beat Justin Rose in a playoff last April, ending an 11-year wait for his 5th major and the green jacket that had so long eluded him. But it was Mickelson's words of advice during a practice round in the past that helped change McIlroy's perception of the iconic Augusta National course. McIlroy said, "I played a practice round with Phil Mickelson maybe 10 or 15 years ago, probably closer to 15, and I always remember he said to me, 'Rory, one of the reasons I love Augusta is because I feel I can be so aggressive here.' I remember thinking, what does he mean? I feel the opposite. I feel I can't be aggressive here because there's so many bad places to miss. But Phil had so much, still has probably faith in the short game, that if he does miss his approach shots by being aggressive, he still feels he can get that ball up and down." That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We're beginning at football, and it was a mixed night for the English sides in action in the UEFA Champions League second legs as Liverpool managed to progress to the quarter-finals. They defeated Galatasaray by 4-0 at Anfield, winning the tie 4-1 on aggregate. However, there was disappointment for both Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle United. Spurs, although winning 3-2 at home against Atletico Madrid, they lost the tie 7-5 on aggregate, while for Newcastle, they drew the first leg 1-1 at St James's Park. However, they were thumped 7-2 by Barcelona at the Nou Camp. Newcastle were 3-2 behind at the break, having competed for the first 45 minutes, but they were blown away in the second half. Barcelona winning the tie 8-3 on aggregate. There was also a big aggregate scoreline for Bayern Munich as they defeated Atalanta 10-2. They won the second leg 4-1. Also in football, and Southampton have moved into the Championship playoff positions after a hard-fought 1-0 victory against Norwich City at St Mary's. The only goal of the game came through Femi Azaz in the 24th minute. It means the Saints are now into 6th position. They're ahead of Wrexham on 7th, who are level on points, but the Saints have a better goal difference. As for Norwich, they're 12th in the standings. They're 9 points off the top 6. Moving on to darts now, and Gian van Veen has withdrawn from night 7 in the Premier League in Dublin after being diagnosed with kidney stones. The Dutch number 1 had been due to face Michael van Gerwen in Thursday night's quarter-final matchup, with the latter now receiving a bye through to the semi-finals. MVG also receives 2 league points and a +1 leg difference, while Van Veen surrenders a -6 leg difference and gets no points. Van Veen, he currently sits in 4th place through 6 nights after finishing runner-up 3 times, but he has been ruled out while he remains in hospital. And finally in golf, and Rory McIlroy has revealed how a conversation with Phil Mickelson around 15 years ago helped him to finally end his misery at the Masters. The world number 2 became the 6th male golfer and the first European to complete the career Grand Slam when he beat Justin Rose in a playoff last April, ending an 11-year wait for his 5th major and the green jacket that had so long eluded him. But it was Mickelson's words of advice during a practice round in the past that helped change McIlroy's perception of the iconic Augusta National course. McIlroy said, "I played a practice round with Phil Mickelson maybe 10 or 15 years ago, probably closer to 15, and I always remember he said to me, 'Rory, one of the reasons I love Augusta is because I feel I can be so aggressive here.' I remember thinking, what does he mean? I feel the opposite. I feel I can't be aggressive here because there's so many bad places to miss. But Phil had so much, still has probably faith in the short game, that if he does miss his approach shots by being aggressive, he still feels he can get that ball up and down." That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We're beginning at football, and it was a mixed night for the English sides in action in the UEFA Champions League second legs, as Liverpool managed to progress to the quarter-finals. They defeated Galatasaray by 4-0 at Anfield, winning the tie 4-1 on aggregate. However, there was disappointment for both Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle United. Spurs, although winning 3-2 at home against Atletico Madrid, they lost the tie 7-5 on aggregate, while for Newcastle, well, they drew the first leg 1-1 at St James's Park. However, they were thumped 7-2 by Barcelona at the Nou Camp. Newcastle were 3-2 behind at the break, having competed for the first 45 minutes, but they were blown away in the second half. Barcelona winning the tie 8-3 on aggregate. There was also a big aggregate scoreline for Bayern Munich as they defeated Atalanta 10-2. They won the second leg 4-1. Also in football, and Southampton have moved into the Championship playoff positions after a hard-fought 1-0 victory against Norwich City at St Mary's. The only goal of the game came through Femi Azaz in the 24th minute. It means the Saints are now into 6th position. They're ahead of Wrexham on 7th, who are level on points, but the Saints have a better goal difference. As for Norwich, they're 12th in the standings. They're 9 points off the top 6. Moving on to darts now, and Gian Van Veen has withdrawn from night 7 in the Premier League in Dublin after being diagnosed with kidney stones. The Dutch number 1 had been due to face Michael van Gerwen in Thursday night's quarter-final matchup, with the latter now receiving a bye through to the semi-finals. MVG also receives 2 league points and a +1 leg difference, while Van Veen surrenders a -6 leg difference and gets no points. Van Veen, he currently sits in 4th place through 6 nights after finishing runner-up 3 times, but he has been ruled out while he remains in hospital. And finally in golf, and Rory McIlroy has revealed how a conversation with Phil Mickelson around 15 years ago helped him to finally end his misery at the Masters. The world number 2 became the 6th male golfer and the first European to complete the career Grand Slam when he beat Justin Rose in a playoff last April, ending an 11-year wait for his 5th major and the green jacket that had so long eluded him. But it was Mickelson's words of advice during a practice round in the past that helped change McIlroy's perception of the iconic Augusta National course. McIlroy said, "I played a practice round with Phil Mickelson maybe 10 or 15 years ago, probably closer to 15, and I always remember he said to me, 'Rory, one of the reasons I love Augusta is because I feel I can be so aggressive here.' I remember thinking, what does he mean? I feel the opposite. I feel I can't be aggressive here because there's so many bad places to miss. But Phil had so much, still has probably faith in the short game, that if he does miss his approach shots by being aggressive, he still feels he can get that ball up and down." That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We're beginning at football, and it was a mixed night for the
That one, Nottingham Forest, highly underwhelming. Say they were the home side, and it was Midtjylland who grabbed a second half winner through the man who came off the bench, and he's on the bench again today, the forward Cho. So let's see if he gets called upon once more as Hutchinson picks it up early doors. It's myself, Kieran Graham, alongside John Hogan to bring you coverage of this one. Well, there's been a lot of debate about the Nottingham Forest starting lineup. I will bring you the lineups in a moment, but John, fingers crossed we get a good game.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's very much the Nottingham Forest, I want to stay in the Premier League formation for this one, where they're going to throw everything at it out of essentially what's the second string. But they've got a good squad, so they've still got good players, you know. I like Dan and Doy. I think Amari Hutchinson, when I saw him last time, played relatively well. But it is the second string. So, and Midtjylland are so well organised. We bang on about set pieces for them. But they still keep scoring from set pieces, don't they? So they're very good at that. And they're good on home soil. I would expect them to win this game.
Yeah, we just saw some good pressing from Castillo. Almost caught out the Forest goalkeeper Ortega pretty early doors. Well, for Tulberg's side, he's named an 11 of AILFC in goal. Back three of João, Ehrlich and Sorensen. Wing-backs of Castillo, and back with a midfield three of Billing, Bravo and Biskov. And front two, Bramada and Osorio. For Nottingham Forest, I'll bring that in a moment as they're on the first attack of the game. It's Hutchinson down the left-hand side, turns away, finds Delaney backwards into the penalty, goes for goal, puts it over the bar in the end. First real chance of the game goes the way of Forest.
Yeah, it's not a bad strike, that. Good play by Amari Hutchinson. He's playing second striker today, which frees him up. You know, oftentimes I think if you're a really good player, it's a great position to play. If you're a really lazy player, you can just go missing, can't you? Nobody seems to care. It's like, oh, you don't need to get goals either. Second striker, true, not me. But I do like him, and I think he played well there. Backward shot wasn't the worst thing I've seen. So you know, they're very attack-minded today. If it all pulls off Vitor Pereira, then it could be quite something.
Yeah, and Doy with the ball into the penalty area goes straight into the hands of AILFC. Well, like I mentioned moments ago, a lot of debate about the formation Forest we're going to be playing today. Every almost website had it as a 4 at the back. It's definitely a 3 so far, with Ortega in goal. At the moment, it's definitely a back three of Abbott, Milenkovic and Marato. And then you've got almost wing-backs in a sense of Ndoye and backward. Dominguez is located in the midfield with Yates, and then McAtee and Hutchinson are drifting around Luca so far. But like mentioned, there was a lot of sides that maybe had it down as maybe a back 4, Abbott being at centre-half, Marato left back. As we're just looking at it now, it definitely looks like they're a back 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you spotted that more quickly than me, but we both said it didn't look right. You know, the back 4, whichever...
The personnel just didn't make sense to
No. Whichever way we sort of tried to work it out. They were saying that Dominguez was left back. I thought, well, that doesn't make any sense. Or that Marato's left back. Again, not really. He's no great pace about him, so why would they expose him? Anyway, it is interesting to see what they're doing. It wouldn't be the first time Vitor Pereira's played with a back 3, would it? So, it's no big surprise. But it is a very attacking lineup.
Interesting. He started with a back 3 last week against Midtjylland, which he hasn't really been doing since taking over in the Premier League. And I thought Forest were really good up until around the hour mark when he made subs and he changed it round. And then they went and lost the game when he moved to a back 4. So it's all very interesting. And he's gone with the back 3 again today for now, as we see Marato go chasing, gives a little bit of a shove towards Castillo. Now we see Biskov, who was brought on at half-time last week, and he was the best player on the pitch by some way. The number 20 was outstanding at the City ground. Bravo as well. The midfield 3 of Billing, Bravo and Biskov that second half were unbelievable. Forest just could not deal with it. They made Elliot Anderson look like a poor footballer at times, and he's far from that. We see a lot of Elliot Anderson, but so far, 4.5 minutes in, nothing really too much to shout about at the moment. The home side just trying to get their foot on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with that. Elliot Anderson's good. I think playing in the pivot, though, he's playing probably too deep, but because they've got Gibbs White, that's what they're doing with him. It'll be a good grounding for him, but he's obviously pretty much on his way to the World Cup, we reckon. McAtee is not, and do you know what? He's like chalk and cheese, and I wondered why they'd got him. And if you'd been scouting him for the last 6 months, you'd think, really? But it's a great chance for him today to show, as the camera lingers on him right now, that he is a good player. At some point, he's been a really good youngster, but whether he's actually trained on it is another story.
It feels very much the situation of the recruitment. I'll come to that in a moment as McAtee tries to pick out Luca. It's overhit, goes out for a goal kick. You kind of don't want two of the exact same, and I feel like if you have one of McAtee or Hutchinson, you probably don't need the other. Very similar players in a sense of like to almost cut in from the right onto their left, but McAtee's just not being able to find himself as comfortable yet as what Hutchinson has. Hutchinson definitely more direct on the right. He's a bit more narrow today, Hutchinson.
Yeah, it's right. I think the thing is, right, that you can put Hutchinson on the flank, know that he's got enough pace to hold the ball up and do all right. I don't necessarily think he's going to wriggle around too many people. That doesn't seem to be his thing. But he picks a good pass. He gets the odd goal. We saw him for the under-21s, and of course they were world champs, weren't they? So he's part of that. I've seen him play well, but it depends what you're asking of him. Anyway, there's a kick in the face there, and I think Osorio is going to get a yellow card for that dangerous play. Surely, he kicked Milenkovic in the head.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit dramatic from Milenkovic. We're going to see it back now. Osorio boots the ball up to the head. He doesn't even touch him. Milenkovic, I mean, he goes down holding his face. He's conned the referee with that one on live view. Seeing it back again. I mean, does he barely touch him?
Yeah, there is a bit of contact.
There's a graze.
Yeah,
there's a graze.
It could have been worse. He could have screamed and rolled, but he didn't do that. Referee just had a word there. Felix Swire probably doing the right thing there, in all honesty.
It's still a little bit dramatic for a big hard Serbian centre-half, as we see, well, in my opinion anyway, as we see Beck Sorensen, the former Brentford man, plays it in towards back to the captain Sorensen, plays it down the line looking towards Brumado, who goes down. Well, he missed an unbelievable chance 5 minutes in at the City Ground last week, a free header from about 5 yards out that somehow he completely messed up. As we see Sorensen looks to clip it down the channel for Osorio again, who's up against Milenkovic once again, and he gets there first. Again, good work from him. He whips it into the penalty, good delivery, cleared away. Only as far as Bravo, who takes it down. He plays it to the right-hand side for Jow. Now it's going to be with the midfielder Billing. Jow once again. Ehrlich towards the right-hand side for Philip Billing, who we'll remember from his time in the Premier League with the likes of Huddersfield and Bournemouth. He was brilliant last week, like mentioned, but he's given the ball away cheaply there. Nice turn from McAtee, who finds backwards up against Bravo. Turns away, plays it into the middle. Really poor ball from Backer, another player who's just not got going yet at Nottingham Forest. Every time I've seen him be really, really poor since joining the Tricky Trees. As we now see Endoy on the right-hand side, he turns away from his man, finds a ball up towards Luca. He goes down a little bit too soft as the absolute giant Italian striker. Another one just yet to get going for his nice touches from Brumada. He plays it to the right for Castillo, keeps it in his stride, finds Billing, and Midtjylland just starting to get a grip of this game, it feels.
Yeah, just getting on the ball that little bit more, aren't they? Popping it about a bit. But do you know what? It's a good press from Forest. There's plenty of energy from these guys. So in their white strip today, away kit for Nottingham Forest, and I think they've made a decent start. Sometimes when you throw in a second string or whatever, you know, there are that many changes that it lacks cohesion. But I don't feel like that necessarily today. So already it's been a decent start to the game. Here come Midtjylland.
Yeah, and Castillo with the ball into the penalty area. He's going to go behind for a first corner of the game. I thought Castillo was one of the more underwhelming players for Midtjylland last week. He played in central midfield in the midfield three. Today he looks like he's playing as the right wing back. Just skipped past his man so easily, passed backward there.
Absolutely, he just chipped it past his leg, and it's like, come on, mate. If you're going to do wing back, you've got to be better than that. Just ran straight round him, didn't he? But anyway, they've got a corner kick out of that. An opportunity then if they can get a decent ball in from Biskov.
Yeah, Biskov, the man over this one as we approach the 10th minute. He hangs it in, he floats it towards the back post, looking towards the volley of Osorio. He gets it wrong, but there's a bit of a push and a shove in the penalty area anyway. So it's a free kick for Nottingham Forest. I would say I'm never the biggest fans of those styles of corners where they almost chip it up, float it towards the back post. I think it takes so much pace off it. It allows the defenders to really adapt to the corner, move across to it. I've never been the biggest of fans.
No, well, that didn't work out, did it? But you know what? These guys are the kings of set piece and dead ball. I was expecting a little bit more than that. For the most part, they tend to be near post flick-on merchants, don't they? Where you're going to get Phil Billing winning the first ball and then all hell breaks loose after that. So I'm always interested to watch what they've got, but that first trick just didn't work out at all.
No, it didn't. As you see the ball go into the hands of Abbott, who's ready to get us back underway. The youngster Of course, has been given some good opportunities in the Europa League this season. Forward ball up towards Lorenzo Luca. He looks to flick it on for Hutchinson. He can't get there, and it's going to be cleared only as far as Sorensen, who brings it down. He's played a poor forward ball. Now it's going to be Hutchinson, who picks a nice pass for McAtee. Cuts onto his left foot, plays it down the line for backward. Looks for potentially a first-time ball. He then tries to check away from his man. Poor touches from him, and then he fouls him. Like I said, he's not got going in a Forest shirt as of yet, and that's really poor from the Frenchman.
Yeah. He was looking to control the ball. I think he turned it away from himself, and then he had his head in his hands. Like, you're thinking, well, the ball's literally 5 yards away. He got caught a little bit, didn't he, with like flailing arm of Castillo, and maybe got a finger in his eye there. But it just looked poor. Anyway, he needs to wake up, doesn't he? Finger in his eye now. That's not going to help him, is it? But he's made a really poor start to the game. You're right. Question marks on him. Sometimes it does take a good player time to settle, but he has made a really poor start.
Yeah, he's very bright. Strasbourg, Milinkovic, taking another boot to the face. I mean, he's turning around thinking...
Well, you can't keep kicking him in the head, though, can you?
At one point, he's going to go down and stay down, isn't it? He almost just waved his arms about. That time did Milinkovic. Yeah, he caught it. I mean, it's not the biggest of boots, is it? But he's probably thinking, what have I done to deserve this? You don't often see that happen once in a game, never mind twice in 12 minutes. But, he's a big lad. He does put his head in where it hurts. You see Ortega up towards Luca. He doesn't win his header. From every time I've seen Luca, I don't think I've seen a player taller lose as many aerial duels. He then goes down, doesn't win anything. But I always think, how's this man never winning headers?
I tell you what, if Milinkovic gets booted in the head one more time, I think he's in the Guinness World Book of Records. Anyway, we'll break off because here's a great chance, and last-ditch challenge comes in then. I tell you what, Morato just about to end that ball away from the attacker. It was really close, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's unbelievable. He had to get it spot on. It looked like Castillo was about to be in on goal. And we saw him moments ago up against Bakru. We know he's got the pace to show Castillo. Forward ball up towards Luca. Ran a bit too ahead of it, but he's done pretty well. It's good strength from him, looking to beat his man. Turns away and then plays it all the way back for Hutchinson. That's a little bit better from the big Italian. Now it's Abbott who turns away from his man to find Yates. And finally, Nottingham Forest can string a few passes together. Of course, like we said, made a lot of changes coming into this game. It feels like the priority is in that game on Sunday against Tottenham Hotspur, who I covered last night. And as much as they didn't go through, it was a win ultimately for Igor Tudor on the night. They won 3-2 against a very good Atletico Madrid side.
They said actually great, played well, is that true?
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, he was man of the match by quite some way in that game.
Good for him.
And as you see the ball go forwards, and I mean, a hopeless long ball that goes all the way through to the goalkeeper. And it's little passes like that Forest just haven't really got going yet. They don't seem to be connected at the moment. Like we said, it feels like a very random, different system. It feels like players are just blocked in certain areas.
They made a good start, though. I think defensively they look all right. I guess the creative thing is a different story. I'll try and work out where Dominguez is, and really struggling to find him on the field. I keep looking for him, thinking, where is he? Dan and Doyle doing some decent defensive work there. Unfortunately, we can see where Bakwa's playing. Takes a touch there, controls the ball, wastes it, 2 or 3 touches, then has to go backwards, and he did that the last time. At least he didn't give the ball away. Anyway, Crystal Palace have scored in their game.
Yeah, they've had a shot on target, which they didn't manage to do at the weekend against Leeds, as we now see Abbott, who turns away from Biskov. Nice play from him, and a decent ball down the channel for Endoy. Luca gets in front of his man. Lovely flick from him as well, and that's lovely football from Nottingham Forest. Move of the game so far. Endoy driving in towards the penalty area. He's in the penalty area. He keeps going onto his left foot. That's great work from Bravo. I gave the number 19 man of the match last week at the CT ground, and he didn't dive in, did he? He stayed with him the whole way. He allowed Endoy to almost cut in on his weaker left side. Didn't want to pull the trigger. You could tell as soon as he cut inside, Endoy was a little bit uncomfortable. He
was, but you're right. Pedro Bravo comes across the Colombian, and instead of being all dramatic in that, it's just like, right, I'm going to take the hit. And Dan Endoy is strong, I think. You can tell he's like, he must have spent a lot of time in the gym because he looked built. And he just got brushed off it by Bravo, the Colombian, didn't he? Yeah, great defending that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ndoye. Another one who's been a little bit up and down. I think they use him very wrong. I saw a lot of him at Bologna, and he was always brilliant off the left-hand side. He's always on the right at Nottingham Forest, and it just doesn't really work. But you can tell he's one of them tall, powerful wingers that you can tell has spent quite a bit of time in Italy as well, with how physical they are over there.
Yeah, exactly. But you're so right. How many players, get it's Premier League, and as if that's enough, and we'll just throw him in wherever we need him, But it's weird how many players have to play out the position that they're best at. It doesn't make any sense, really, does it?
No, it certainly doesn't. As you now see the ball ready to come in, it's going to be Ndoye to take it short towards Bakwa, who's going to have a drive at Biskov. Cuts inside, goes one way, then the other. That's better from the Frenchman, but his cross is terrible. He gets quite lucky to win a corner there because it was a really poor ball into the area on his right boot, but the clearance at the front post was poor, and it goes for a Nottingham Forest corner.
I tell you what, that was ambitious, wasn't it? They got everybody lined up in the box waiting for the ball in, and then it's like, we're going to roll it 5 yards to our worst player tonight. But I tell you what, he had the guts then to take his man on. He got round. It wasn't a great cross, but somebody had to be at that near post anyway, just in case he didn't get hold of it right. So I think his teammates have got to read that a little bit better. They're all stood ball watching there. Anyway, the corner kick, first one, came in, and the referee wasn't having it. Apparently he's seen a bit of nonsense there, and Victor Back Jensen is one of those who is having a word, and he's having a pushing shoving match with Murato.
Yeah, it's Larsson, of course, in between the sticks. He made some great saves as well last week. Elliot Anderson almost scored one of the best goals we've seen all season in that game. Also had quite its twists and turns. Bakwa ready to whip this in. It's a dangerous delivery to the back post, and Olafsson just about gets there. I think it just grazed the head of Milenkovic. May have bounced off Yates at the back post. See it back again. Milenkovic doesn't get the proper contact. Yates doesn't see it coming. He just sticks his knee out. It may even come off the backside of Bravo, but Olafsson is aware to it, and he keeps it out.
Yeah, more by luck than good fortune there. It's a poor challenge from Billy. I think that should be a yellow card. Anyway, Milenkovic holding his head now, but this time nobody's biffed him. And just after that, we saw Yates. I think that was called an assault from Billing. I don't know why the referee thought that was all right. But anyway, it's typical Yates. That he's not going to make a big deal out of a physical challenge, is he? But yeah. It's a tough all game. It's not been a bad game so far.
No, it hasn't. It's been a decent watch. Looks a good old tactical battle. I mean, I don't have to be told to tell that. I can tell that Milenkovic has an headache in this one. He's always holding his head every time we see him. We know he's been booted there a few times. We now see Ndoye pick it up off the left-hand side, which is where I think he's a lot better. He's rotated with Bakwa for the time being. Now it's Milenkovic in possession, who was a very early substitute coming on against Midtjylland last week after Jean Cunha had to go off with an injury. The young Brazilian centre-half finally getting some opportunities, which the Forest fans are happy about, but now he's on the injury table. We now see Abbott turns away from his man, Sharp from the number 44. It's going to be Milenkovic. Dominguez makes a great run that got ignored by Milenkovic. He spreads it out to the left instead for Ndoye. He brings it down, looks to turn away from Castillo. Really good work though, much better work from Castillo. Ndoye's been clattered. He's won a free kick there. No, he hasn't. He's actually won a throw-in, and Brumado not too happy with the referee.
No, not at all. It's a tough physical challenge. I don't really know who did what to who there, to be honest, but Forest still have the ball, so they're trying to get something going. Little flick round the corner from Luca didn't work out. And then the ball won in the middle of the park by Zach Abbott. When I watch this kid, I just think, there's no way he's 19. He looks like he's sort of 29, doesn't he? He's certainly fully formed. Anyway, here come Forest.
Yeah, a real unit player, isn't he? But I'm always quite impressed when I see him. I think he's got quite a bit. He looks confident all the time in possession. We just see McAtee go down under a challenge from Sorio. He'll be okay to continue. Free kick in a dangerous crossing area. They're just a nice little drag back to get away from his man. You can tell Sorio, it was one of them where you're never going to get booked for it, but he knew he'd been beaten, so it was a case of bringing him down.
Yeah, it's a real attacker's challenge, isn't it, really? Just way too deep into him. McAtee's saying, now you see it, now you don't kind of thing with the ball. It's skill, isn't it? And you get frustrated being beaten by skill. So he just brought him down. They stepped on his toe as well as getting a knee into him. But, well, it's another set piece.
Yeah, not seeing any real chances so far. McAtee ready to take this free kick. It's actually going to be Ndoye, and that was woeful. I mean, Ndoye made the run up to take it. He then dummied it for McAtee. McAtee then dummied it. He's fallen back to Ndoye, who looks across the face of goal. Well, I was just bigging you up, Dan. You've made me look silly because you've just put in two of the worst crosses. I tell you what, one of the better touches you'll see all season from Luca has somehow kept this in play. And what a back heel that is from Amari Hutchinson. Luca, lovely football from Forest into the area. Luca goes for goal. Big save. Well, one of the most comical moments you will ever see on a top European stage turned into a great pass. I always knew Ndoye was a good player. What a ball out to Luca that was.
From the ridiculous to the sublime. What a lovely back heel from Hutchinson as well. In that, that's the best bit of football we've seen. And then the shot near post, it's going to creep in, and the keeper Olafsson needed to make a save. That's great football from Forest.
Yeah, and then Ndoye will be happy because it means we've not really focused on the two crosses that we just saw from him seconds before it. Corner ready to be whipped in from backwards. Some cross has to beat the first man at some point for Nottingham Forest, whether it be set pieces or open play. He's not beating the first man, as you can tell. Ball hooked back in towards Dominguez. His header well saved in the end by Olafsson, straight down the throat of the keeper. But another wasteful cross.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're jinxing it somehow. Keep talking about it, but we better not mention Milankovic getting booted in the head anymore, just for his sake, eh? But he reminds me that there was a park ranger once on Record Breakers, and he'd been hit by lightning about 3 or 4 times. Milankovic's been booted in the head twice. 3 times, like I said, he gets a medal or something. But anyway, I've quite enjoyed the start. And we've just seen a little bit of football from Forest, but they've given the ball away and now could be in trouble. That's great for McAtee.
Yeah, that's fantastic from McAtee. Under real pressure, great footwork, balling behind towards McAtee. A good one as well, and he's going to get there in the penalty.
Oh.
What a touch. As he keeps it in his stride. He finds backward. We'll come to what McAtee's just done in a moment. The cross from Yates is terrible. But there's some lovely football. And a long ball in behind towards McAtee. He tries to volley it across the face of goal first time with his right boot. He completely misses the ball. It bounces up off his backside, goes back into his path, and he kept the ball. But with that, 23 and a half minutes on the clock. We've reached the halfway stage of this half. Hutchinson with a poor ball that goes straight into the path of the goalkeeper. Still 0-0 on the night. 1-0 on aggregate to Midtjylland. Plenty of talking points though. It's been a decent watch, as much as we've not seen a lot of quality, and it will be John to take you through to half time.
Thanks, Kieran. I quite enjoyed that the first half. There's an expression for Forest, and I think that's can't win for losing. They do something brilliant and follow it up with something terrible, but it's quite funny to watch. If they could put a cross in that could beat the first man, they'd be deadly, wouldn't they? But and I think that they've kind of held Midtjylland at bay. So they made a good start, but you don't get anything for that. It's still 1-0 on aggregate to the Jutlanders. So, and they've got a free kick now, an opportunity for them to load up the box and do what they're good at, set piece, one of their strong suits. Usually Billing flicks on at the near post, as I mentioned, but maybe not. Osorio, he's stood by the ball. So too Mads Beck Sorensen. Anyway, it is going to be Osorio. No, it's not. So fooled me. Ball comes in. Looks for that little flick on near post. It goes through the box, and they've got 2 at the far post. Neither can pick it up. I think Giao just recycles the ball back to the edge of the box. Again, it's with Osorio looking for a give and go, and the ball just got away from him there. One back at the edge of the box, and then Abbott's percentage ball to clear his lines. And then a good little flick from McAtee. Look at that free kick again, and it's all about getting the man in to win the ball at the near post, isn't it? And once they've done that, the ball bounces in the box, anything can happen.
Yeah, Illich just never jumps, does he, at the back post? It's almost like he's backpedaling and leans back to try and win his header. I think if he leaps quite early, you could actually get a shot off at goal. That's a great headed flick on. Lucas finally won a header that gets Nottingham Forest on the front foot. Well, they could have been on the front foot. Hutchinson just slows it down, but they're still on the attack.
McAtee now, well, what's his ball like? It's not a bad ball, it's an opportunity. And a shot smashed off the crossbar. Brilliant play that. Wowee, Forest then turning it up a little bit at times. I don't know whether he was onside in that. I'm thinking he probably was. Yeah. It's a great ball, isn't it? And a terrific finish, and they just need a bit of luck there. Yeah,
McAtee's starting to become the best player on the pitch, isn't he, over the last 5 minutes or so. He's really dictating play for Forest. Yeah, it just bounced up. You can see with the actual movement strike it, he's uncomfortable going for it. It's on his weaker left foot as well. He's not known for his goal scoring as Milankovic wins his header, but what a good opportunity. He hits it pretty central. The goalkeeper didn't bother trying, did he? He just couldn't react to it, and it crashes off the bar.
For me, I mean, I know that's his swinger, but that's brilliant technique. That ball
he got over it, didn't he?
Yeah, because the half volley, I keep saying it, and it's true though, but the half volley I think is the hardest shot because the ball's really light nowadays, and you know. But he got his foot over it. It's as much as he could do with his swinger. You know, he's hitting it side-footed, but he got power in it as well. That ball just wouldn't sit down for a minute, and had it done, he would have been able to get his foot over the ball a little bit more and maybe hit it down into the ground. It's a terrific effort from the captain.
Yeah, it was a good effort in the end from him, but unfortunately for him, bounces off the bar, goes in behind for a goal kick. 27 minutes on the clock, still 0-0.
Yeah. Still goalless. Forest have made a good start though. Like I said, some terrible stuff, some good stuff. Backward now seems to be right wing back. He'd started on the left. I don't know. He was having a struggle there, and he kept having to go backwards, didn't he? I think that's the reason why they've switched him out. But anyway, another long good ball forward. Luca, he's actually won a header now, and which he should do really at 6'7", but. Weirdly, maybe not necessarily his strong suit, but anyway, he goes for the ball. It doesn't quite reach him, and then Hutchinson is on it. Can he turn back on the inside? Was he being held back there? I think the referee's got to give a free kick, and he does eventually. And in the end, it was a great opportunity. Maybe he should be finding a card for that, because you know that's serious foul play when. Forrest have got a really good chance of creating something.
Yeah, Hutchinson gets the good side of him and was probably leading quite a promising attack there. Bravo's just grabbing him the whole way. I think that should be a yellow card. We're at a stage as well in this game where 30 minutes in, or 29 minutes in, it's not too early to book a player for something like that at all, but a free kick that might just be too far out to go for goal. McAtee and Backward stood over it chatting, but Ndoye's on the left with a little bit of space. I won't be surprised if they try something a little bit cheeky here.
Yeah, given the most of the set pieces from corners, well, we haven't beat the first man. I think it'd be ambitious to try and hit it in, but it's cross instead to Hutchinson. Now he's out on the right hand side, cuts back. He's won his side of corner. It's all right. They didn't really have an angle there. They couldn't really go for goal. It was too far, wasn't it? So I don't mind that. It's a good idea.
Yeah, recycled it to the right, didn't he? For Hutchinson, went on his weaker right foot. He's well defended by back and goes out for a Forest corner.
He does. They might take this short. Backward, he's on the ball. He's left-footed, so he's looking to swing it in. It's weird, really. When he's playing left wing back, then and he kept having to play backwards. He was making me think that he was right-footed because he didn't have a percentage ball down the line. Anyway, ball comes in and it's headed in, and was that cleared off the line? I think it was. The referee's watch didn't go off. Felix White looks at his watch, chance to bring the ball back in, backwards ball in. Not great, not the worst thing though. At least it beat one player in, and now Forest recover the ball with McAtee halfway inside the Midtjylland half. Ball goes out to left hand side. Opportunity for Dan Ndoye to get the cross in. Beats one, and then he's rolling into the box. He giving himself too much to do with that. Wasn't the worst effort though.
Yeah, he's been the worst player since I said I really liked him as Dan Ndoye. He's really struggled, which surprises me because he's gone out to the left, and that's when he struggled as Milankovic wins his header. Foster Luca, what a chance that is! What an opportunity for the Italian who boots the post in frustration. I tell you what, Milenkovic does brilliant in the build-up here. It's a long ball. Milenkovic knocks it down. It came out of nowhere. Falls to Luca from about 9 yards out. He takes it first time. The technique
terrible.
Makes your skin crawl for a striker. The technique is awful. He's put it so far over the bar. What a chance.
Listen, I've been to Italy before. I've seen those kids on the beach playing keepy-uppies. They would have all scored. I don't understand. I always say it, and I did say it earlier, I think the half volley is the hardest thing to get right, but it was a terrible attempt, wasn't it? Anyway, spoons the ball out to the right, but Lucas lost his football just for a minute. Anyway, we're looking at that last effort, cleared off the line by Billing. The one that was nodded back on the inside by Dominguez. They need some luck, don't they, Forest? Things are not going their way, but they played well enough. Backward now, drives forward. It's a decent ball for him. Puts Luca into the box. He's going to have to turn. No, he doesn't. He plays percentage play there, scrapes it off the defender, and it's another corner.
Yeah, that's a little bit better from him. I can't get over that chance for Luca. What an opportunity. He's in so much space as well, which makes you think, could you even just take a quick touch, set yourself right in front of goal as there's a ball whipped in and a header from Yates just goes wide. It feels like we've hit a stage in this game. Nottingham Forest are finding control, aren't they? They're creating the chances, they're having the dominance. Midtjylland, it's almost like they're just trying to ride the wave at the moment. They're not being punished so far, but Nottingham Forest, they're knocking on the door.
Yeah, they're playing well, aren't they? And we saw that last ball, Hutchison. It's a good ball in, gets a little blind flick on. Could have gone anywhere, could have gone the back of the net. It didn't. Just a couple of yards wide, but they're doing well. McAtee ball out to the left-hand side for Undoy, who, since we've given him a little bit of praise, has gone into his own shell a bit. McAtee, who I'd kind of slaughtered a little bit, he's having a great game. As he's on the ball now, and he seems to be pulling all the strings tonight. Anyway. A gap closes down for him, and then Abbott, lovely step on his inside, back to McAtee. He realises the press is coming, and he gets it away from back Jensen. Abbott gets the ball away. McAtee reads a bad ball, and the ball goes all the way back to Bakwa. Left foot, he scrapes it out of his feet, and finds Milenkovic over the halfway line, just. And it all goes a little bit quiet. Needs to be a little bit more movement. Forest 54% in possession. They've certainly created more opportunities tonight. There's Ndoye now a chance to take his man on, and he takes him on for pace. But there's a good challenge comes in from Castillo. But that ball has gone out, just rolled slowly out for another corner.
Yeah, we're just seeing the goal line technology on the chance earlier on where Billing cleared it off the line. The ball is so close, isn't it? It feels like 3/4 of it going over the line, but it was Billing aware to it. Nottingham Forest just keeping that pressure on Midtjylland. Yes, the lineup maybe suggested to us that Vitor Pereira's sole focus is staying up. This is a massive tournament. This is the Europa League, and as much as it's players who don't start usually, you can feel that they're wanting to impress.
Yeah, they are. Here the corner kick comes in. It breaks the edge of the box. The shot comes in from McAtee. It's a decent effort. They haven't cleared their lines. Ball bobbling about, and now bicycle kick comes in, and it's saved at the near post by Olafsson. And, well, it's a real spirited effort. The flag had gone up for offside anyway, so I guess it wouldn't have counted from Dominguez. But it's real good stuff from them. You know, the thing is, I think Pereira, I think he's a good manager. There was a quote from him, and I couldn't give you it. But at the start of the season, it was like a rallying call for Wolves. And it made me want to punch the air and go, come on then. and I thought, he's got something about him, you know. And obviously there was a fallout at Molineux and all that kind of stuff, and his position became untenable, you know. But I thought there's a good manager there. There's a good man manager, and you know, he can motivate people. And you get the sense that he sent these boys out to go win the game, not to be second string, and you know, to go out and showcase what they could do.
Yeah, well, they have to. They really do. He won his first game in charge of Nottingham Forest, a game that I covered away in Istanbul. They blew Fenerbahce at the park. I thought, right, Nottingham Forest, they'll be fine now. And they haven't won since then. They're winless in their last 6 games. So Vitor Pereira, yes, he might have his qualities, hasn't been able to bring them yet to Nottingham Forest, it doesn't have to be said. That was poor work from Ndoye, who's giving away a throw in. And looks like we might be seeing a couple players getting ready to come on. I'm not sure if it's Tulberg maybe just readying them for the second half, having a couple of words with them, but he's definitely speaking to two substitutes at the moment. That is interesting.
Yeah, I think they've not got going, have they, long and short of it. We're going to see a long throw now. Again, it's a great weapon in their armoury. Again, expect Billing flick on or Brumado at near post, whatever it is. Then they've got the other big guys at the far post. Ball comes in, does get that little flick on, and it goes through the box. Eventually, it's been dealt with. Diao goes down in the box, but nobody's interested in that. He just fell over. Referee spotted something, offside perhaps. Anyway, it will be Forest able to relieve the pressure. They are really good with those set pieces, with long throws or what have you. And that very nearly worked out. It's a couple of times now that they've got the first touch and the little flick on at the near post. Usually they're better with that second ball, but the ball breaks here for Brumado. What's he going to do? Well, he tries a little dribble into the box. Keeper was coming to collect that, Stefan Ortega. It was taken off him, and then it's a collision in the middle of the park. And, the Danish fans on the far side are going absolutely berserk. It looks like Dominguez and Castillo are coming together, but the home fans clearly felt that was a foul.
Yeah, they thought it was the other way around. They've given it the way of Forest. Well, Castillo gets there first. How on earth is that a Forest free kick? I don't really understand. Well, with that touch from Brumado, you wouldn't think he's Brazilian, would you? Because he tries to drag the ball along with his studs, and he just sent the ball forwards about 6 yards. I mean, it was awful play from Brumado. I actually really like this from the head coach Tulberg. He's going to make 2 tactical changes. No one's injured, it seems, for Midtjylland, but they've lost control and just things aren't going for them at the moment. I've got a feeling maybe Midtjylland didn't expect this formation. Didn't seem like anyone did they, for Nottingham Forest? The 3 at the back, and I think he just wants to adapt to it to try and help his side. He's going to make 2 changes pretty soon. Like I said, no injuries, it seems, so hey, the manager's seen something and he's thought, no, I'm not going to wait 10 minutes. I'm not going to wait till half time. I'm going to do it now.
They're getting beaten up, aren't they? He who hesitates is lost, they say. But I often think, why wait till half time? Your team, I know they're not behind, but it's like...
It's become like a weird unwritten rule, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I just think that, so they're at home, they would have expected to play better, but they're not dominating this game, not by any shadow, by any manner of means. So can you really throw away any time at home where you might feel that you're on top? As Osorio, they're close to taking the ball off Ortega. He had to step inside and sort of take him on in the challenge. As Bakwa, well, he drags 3 of them to him, and then the ball to Luca. Chance for Bakwa. Oh, that's close. He really put his laces through that with his left foot strike, and I thought that was going to hit top bag there. Just a great strike. That great football again.
Yeah, it's really good play. Hutchinson plays a lovely one too with Bakwa. Bakwa then plays a nice one too with Luca. Ortega got so lucky because he actually cleared his lines. It bounced off Osorio, and luckily for the German, straight into his path. But Bakwa's strike, he just almost catches his laces through it a little bit too much, slices it too far towards the opposite side, went over the bar. Those changes still not being made for the home side.
Yeah, looking at that again, it was great football, wasn't it? The finish, like you said, he's cutting across the ball way too much, slicing it too much. I know they do that to try and get power on it, but I felt he overdid that. But again, great play, and Luca turns one round the corner. Again, here they come with Yates having a good game. Hutchinson again, he's sort of drifted out to the wing right now. But he gets it out with his feet for McAtee at the edge of the area. Slips one challenge, gets a shot in. It's saved by the keeper. Pushed out to his left-hand side. That's gone out for yet another corner. Well, they couldn't bring these subs on quickly enough, can they? Midtjylland, they're being beaten up here.
Yeah, they are. And it's McAtee again. Lovely play from him. Looks to bend it towards that far corner. I'm not sure if it's going in, but Olafsson, he's not to know. It's still good goalkeeping. Just tips it round the corner. 6th corner of the game coming up for Forest.
Yeah, well, he's taking it short, gets it back, able to put the ball into the far post, nodded back in, and then it's headed into the back of the net. They've done it. And it's Dominguez. He's been threatening to do that all the way through the game. And it's the goal that they so richly deserve. Forest have been on top, and they've franked that form with a goal.
Yeah, it's a big one. What a header it is from Dominguez. Tulberg will be raging because he wanted to make those 2 changes to adapt to it at 0-0. Well, this changes that completely. I wonder if he's maybe going to change his mind. Finally, Bakwa hangs in a decent ball. Milenkovic wins his header. Dominguez,
perfect.
I mean, that is perfect. It couldn't have been any better, that header. He's leaning back, he's stretching his neck muscles, he's having to lean his head back to almost divert it goalwards. He hooks it towards the far corner, and it is well and truly in the top corner as it loops into the far post. What a header from him, and it's 1-0 on the night, 1-1 on aggregate.
Yeah, I'm really neutral in this, but do you know what? When you see a team playing good football, you just naturally want them to do well, don't you? You know, they've got what they've deserved there, but they've got to be careful now because here come Midtjylland at the edge of the box, ball bobbling around in the box. It keeps it alive there. And then a little flick at the edge of the box, back just stabbed that ball, but it's picked up by, it was that poor his touch there that it just pops up for Ortega. Anyway, Forest... really been running the Danes ragged in this first half. First 10 minutes, it was sort of 50-50, but, Forest in their old white kit tonight have been playing really well. McAtee's taking the game by the scruff of the neck. A few nice touches, actually, from Luca. Hutchison, I think, has been really alive as well. Dominguez, I've been looking for him, but what I recognise is that he keeps creeping into the box and trying to, be that sort of ghost number 9 sort of thing. And he's done it pretty well, I reckon, there. All those big lads in the box. He's not the biggest, is he? But, just hunting around. I think with the goal, it looks perfect, the header, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that he really could have put it anywhere else, where the ball came to him. So it's an element of good luck and all that. But a perfect loop on the ball. That the keeper's great, isn't he, Olafsson? But it's literally the only place he can't get it at that pace.
Yeah.
He couldn't work much more pace off the ball. But anyway, one apiece on an aggregate. And Forest back on the ball, trying to make ground down their left-hand side, and off they go. Good last-ditch challenge there from, I think it might have been Ehrlich just coming out of the back 3 there. So, Forest have matched them, more than matched them today. And we saw those subs warming up, but not going to come on. I do remember early in his career with Chelsea that Jose, straight after half-time, would bring 2 or 3 on. And he wouldn't spare anybody a change. And, of course, this season, I've seen a change after just 17 minutes, a tactical change. And that's Tottenham's poor goalkeeper getting replaced by Vicario. So anything goes, really. But for Forest, you'd want to keep these boys out there. Hutchison just slips the first challenge and he keeps on going. But the ball eventually with Beck Sorensen, little slalom from him. And he chops the ball down the line. But to nobody in particular, it's going to be picked up. And then Abbott gets the long ball away. There's a shove in the middle of the park. Come on, referee. You could see that. He didn't give it, though. Felix Suarez had a really poor first half, in my opinion, the German referee. But again, it's with Undoy. Chance to put a cross in. He does. It's easy meet that for Olafsson. Just comes and claims it. I think 1 or 2 clubs in the Premier League might be looking at this goalkeeper and thinking that, he might be worth having. He'd been outstanding in the first half. Not anything he could do with the goal. He fills that goal frame pretty well. Forest win the ball again. And now with Bakwa, lets the ball run across his body. Just forced back on his inside. All left foot goes to Abbott. Abbott just percentage ball down the line. Don't mess about with it. He comes off the back of Amari Hutchison, who's done really well. Luca trying to volley that ball, and he ends up on the seat of his pants. Just again strong from Bravo. Luca might have hurt himself there, but anyway, the ball breaks the other way. Hutchison running through a gap in the middle. It's an opportunity for him. He's shot. Oh, it's saved. He never really caught hold of that. No conviction in the strike. It was on target, but Olafsson made an easy save.
Yeah, unreal chance for Amari Hutchinson. It's on his weaker right foot, but he wanted to be unpredictable. He wanted to take it pretty early. Tries to drill it across the face of goal. It's a poor effort from him. It's a good save in the end from AILFC, but he should do a lot better. Hutchinson, only 1 minute of added time, which is understandable. Yes, we've seen the free kicks. It's been very free-flowing, though.
This first half's really flown by. You know, we do a lot of football, don't we, Kieran? A lot of it can be tedious. This is not right from the get-go. It's been like a Premier League game.
But we only do good games, John, that's why.
Well, we tend to do, yeah. It's weird, that, isn't it? But anyway, life's what you make it and all that as well. We can have a laugh when they're, at times, you know, Forest have been poor, haven't they, as well? But... you know, they've put a lot of good stuff together. Some flowing moves, some good play. Like I said, McAtee, wow. Just reminding us that he can be a good player. Some good defenders as well by Milenkovic. Just nods it back to his keeper. The ball bowled out to Morato with the dying embers of this first half. Zundoy now takes his man on. He beats him for pace. He's driving forward. Needs to get the cross in early. He just cuts back. Lays the ball back. An opportunity then. No, referee blown his whistle. There we go. It's half time. Midtjylland and Nottingham Forest 1, and it's 1 apiece on aggregate.
Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from, towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from, towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from, towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from, towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from, towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from, towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a win at 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a win at 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a win at 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a win at 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a win at 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a win at 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a win at 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a win at 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a win at 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides you have to push for a win at 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from, towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from, towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic across the face of goal, and a wonderful header from Dominguez back where it came from, towards the near top corner. It was a brilliant header from the Argentine in the second half. Both sides have to push for a winner. 1-1. Half-time in Denmark, it's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's now 1-1 on aggregate. Well, Nottingham Forest have been the better side in that first half. They've had plenty of chances. Luca with a great opportunity moments before they did take the lead. It was a ball in from backward, found the header Milenkovic. And we will leave that just there, because we're about to get back underway in Denmark for this Europa League round of 16 second leg clash. It's Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 1 on the night, 1-1 on aggregate, so it is all to play for coming into this second half. Well, Nottingham Forest, they weren't dominant, but they were the better side definitely in that first half. They had plenty of opportunities. Luca had a fantastic chance at 0-0, which he somehow plays miles high over the bar, but then they did finally get the lead. Ball in from backward, found the head of Milenkovic, headed it across the face of goal, and what a header it was from Dominguez to find the back of the net. It was a fantastic header from him to give Forest the lead. Double change for Midtjylland, one that they wanted to make in and around the 37th minute. Conceding the goal in around the 38th made them not want to bother anymore, but now they have made those changes, and interestingly it's Billing and Biskov that both make way, two key parts of that midfield, and they make way for Simsier and Lee. As we now see the ball with back on the left hand side, it's still myself, Kieran Graham, alongside John Hogan to bring you coverage of this Europa League clash. And John, the first half was enjoyable. We both enjoyed it. We enjoyed some of the football on display. Even when we saw some poor football, it was still a lot of talking points. Well, I'll bring John in a moment, because we see a counter-attack after a mistake from Forest. Osorio cuts inside. He hits it. Wow. Terrible strike from him into the crowd. But fingers crossed this second half, he's just as fun.
Yeah, it was a cracking first half, really. If anything, I reckon that 1-0... You know, had Forest gone in 2, I think it would have been fair. They needed just a little bit more luck, didn't they? Interesting the change that had been made. Lee Han Bjom comes in, who is a centre back. Sincere comes in for Billing. They're having to rethink, aren't they, and reshuffle. It's unlike Tulberg to be beaten to the punch, but I think you've got it right. Neither we nor he expected the formation that Forest had come out in, and I think it put them on the back foot. So, he wanted to change it, and we were saying at the time that would be quite a shrewd thing to do, because they were getting beaten up, and it looked like they were going to concede, and then he didn't. They were warming up the subs, they didn't bring them on, and then they went a goal down, and it's like, it's too late now, we might as well wait till half time. But and we were both sort of pondering. You said at the time, but that's inspired. That bringing subs on early, you don't see that. But then he didn't, and they paid the price.
Yeah, they did. I think right before the goal, the ball had gone out of play about a minute before for a corner, and it's almost like you never make changes on a corner, do you? So he didn't bother doing it. I bet he was regretting that. To see a long ball go towards Amari Hutchinson. Well, of course, this is 1-1. at the moment on aggregate. So if it remains 1-1 come the 90th minute, we will be heading for extra time. We see Hutchinson with the ball in behind, looking towards Luca though, leaves it for Yates, takes it down on his chest. It's almost like he does too much. I believe Luca was offside anyway in the build-up, and he does interfere with play. He makes the movement towards the ball, then leaves it, and the offside flag went up. But Yates, it was almost felt similar to the chance he had in the first half, where it just loops over, could meet it on his far boot on the volley. This time he decided to try and chest it down. And, well, no, Lucas seemed onside as well. But
the flag didn't go up at all, did it? Oh, no, it did.
Yeah.
It did. But he was wrong, wasn't he? And I think that because he realised once the ball had gone, but if that ball hits the back of the net, that goal's going to stand. It's a great ball from Hutchinson, that. The only thing is, it's bouncing. And again, you know, for Yates, it's twice. I mean, he hit the crossbar, didn't he, first time around? But he was like a small boy chasing a balloon that second time around this half, and he, you know, that ball just wouldn't drop down for him to hit properly. But anyway, it's a great effort, and again, they brought Leon, and I was wondering where he was in that. I'm just looking at him now, and now he got sucked into midfield, and I think they want him to play a bit further at the park, you know, when they try to break forward. But they lost the ball, and then he was nowhere, and now we're seeing him in the middle of the centre back seemingly.
Yeah, exactly. And as we now see back in possession, when Lee was playing wing back, where in the first leg when he came on, Yates brings his man down. That's going to be a free kick. Simsier's first real touches. He started last week, didn't have too much impact at the CT ground. He just got sandwiched by Abbott and Yates there. Yates had two hands on him as he brought him down. But Simsier with the white headband, can't miss him as he was brought down. Now we're going to see Sorensen ready to take this free kick. Goes all the way across.
Yeah, do you realise that we didn't mention extra time in the first half, which it's a jinx in our office. If you mention it, you know you're going to get it. And we didn't mention it, so by that eternal right, and we should be able to get off to our second game of the evening, which is an all-Italian game. Between Roma and Bologna on time, but you never know, do you? But there could be extra time in this. Yeah,
there could be, of course. Roma Bologna, I covered the first leg of that as well last week, and that was a great game. I love an all-Italian clash, love the Serie A, so thoroughly looking forward to that game at 8 p.m. Jonathan Rowe was outstanding in that fixture last week. They took him off and incidentally looked terrible. We see a yellow card brandished the way of a Midtjylland man. It's for Bramada, goes straight into the back of Milenkovic. Well, it's not your head this half, mate. It's your lower back, and he's been absolutely kneed right in there. I don't know, is that a yellow card offence?
Yeah, he just jumped into him. You can't do that. He's leading with his knee. You know, it's going to hurt. There was also elbow to the back of his head, but, you know, he's not feeling any pain there now. He's that many bumps and bruises. Anyway, this time Luca goes down, but he was the man fouling Martin Ehrlich, and so Midtjylland can get on the ball. But they need to refine something here. The home team are playing like the visitors, aren't they? And they need to step it up somehow.
Yes, you now see the ball in the middle with Bravo, and it's going to be Lee who has settled in at central centre half. Like I said, he was at wing back last week. Looks like Castillo may have dropped into midfield since the changes. We now see the ball with Ehrlich. Interesting to see the likes of Billing make way. We now see backward. Good challenge in from him, and then now McAtee can carry it forward. Lovely run from him. He's going to keep going on his own. He lays it off for Yates onto his left foot. He goes for goal! What a hit! What a strike in front of his own fans. The Nottingham Forest skipper, who doesn't play much in the Premier League, he said, have a bit of that. What a hit on his left boot into the far top corner. Take a bow, and it's 2-0 on the night.
Never mind all those half volleys. Take that and party. What a hit. What a hit. Great play again. Forest are all over this team today. They're playing with heart and spirit. You know, the shape is great. They've got bodies going forward. We said first 15, 20 minutes, it was a bit like getting to know you. But they settled into this formation. McAtee, I can't remember him playing that well. But this is all about the strike. From the moment it leaves his boot, it's going in. when it passes the keeper, I think it's still, accelerating. He dives and the ball's past him. Yates, we know that he's got a left boot like a siege gun, and he absolutely cracks that one in. It smashes into the back of the net. I wonder how quick that was going.
Yeah, I actually think his first touch onto his left boot, it's not that good. It's quite heavy. He's on full stretch hitting it. That is why that is so sensational. It's just, sometimes you watch football and you think, to be in that away end. To be in that away end. He can't believe it. And you can see the delight. I mean, he is Nottingham Forest through and through. Is Ryan Yates. I mean, he's always in the wars. It's his second goal of the competition this season. Puts his heart and soul on the line for this club. If you could have asked all of that Nottingham Forest away end to pick a player to score a goal like that, as big as that, I think they'd have all said Ryan Yates, and there he is with it, and he can't believe it. What a moment, and it's deserved.
Yeah, absolutely, but they've got to do a bit of defending now. Here comes Brimado. It's all open up in front of him, and was he fouled at the edge of the box?
Oh, wow.
They've got away with that, I think.
Well, if it's not a foul, it's a dive. The referee says no to both, as we now see Hutchinson on the counter-attack. He's driving forwards into the penalty area. It's still going. He goes down under the challenge. And has anything been given? No, it's going to be a goal kick in the end. Two big shots. I thought Midtjylland should have had a free kick at the other end.
Well, yeah. Dominguez runs across his back legs, and it's your standard. It's got to be a free kick. Junior Bramado looks there, and obviously for Mike Tolberg, he's furious with that. And I'm thinking, how could the referee miss that? The referee's having a really poor game tonight. At the other end, then Hutchinson, he gets a little shove, doesn't he? And I think you've got to be stronger than that. Anyway. Here we go again. There's a play down the middle of the park. It's getting quite tasty.
Yeah.
But anyway, the referee doesn't want anything to do with that. Yates tries to bring his man down. Here we go, another attempted foul. What a run this is, an opportunity. And then just one too many defenders there. And, this game's getting tasty.
What a run. Dominguez has been down holding his head for about 30 seconds.
Come on, referee, wake up.
He's only just stopped the game. I mean, that run from Simpson, that would have been something as well. The reason I said, when Dominguez went down, it felt very much a frustrated one from Bramado, who just been yellow carded. He jumped up, reckless, elbow straight into the back. He could have gone for that.
That could be a straight red. I don't think there's any attempt to play the ball. Elbow comes straight through him. They get a chance to look at that, and he should be carded for that and get his second card and get sent off. It's terrible that they're going to make another change now. Midtjylland, they're going to take him off. They're going to take Junior Bramado off before he gets sent off.
Yeah.
And they're clever to do that because he just lost his head.
Yeah, and it makes sense because I can tell you just from watching these two players one time before today and Bramado today, they're bringing on a striker that's better than Bramado. Shows a lot better than Bramado from what I saw of him at the City Ground. He's got a great header in that game as well to win them that game 1-0, of course. As we now see Simpson, he's added a little bit of life, hasn't he? A little bit more energy, a loose touch from Bravo, not
Brilliant.
like him. And we now see Luca, who finds Hutchinson on the counter-attack. Here's a chance for Forest. Hutchinson onto his left foot finds Luca. Terrible touch. I mean, he's frustrating to watch, isn't he? Wow, what a chance. He'd done so well in build-up. I feel like the one-touch stuff where he's picking it off to wide areas, he's actually done quite well, Luca. As soon as it requires him to, do anything of real big skill, it's not working.
I think he needed to control that with his left foot, didn't he? And he just couldn't do it. I think he makes a stab with his right. Great play again from Forest. Hutchinson picking up really good pockets of possession and able to drive forward, doing what he's good at. The ball's been given away. Here's a chance for McAtee.
And here's McAtee into the penalty area. Goes for goal. It's blocked away. Goes out of play for a corner kick. They're enjoying life for Forest.
I'm enjoying this game. I'm enjoying Forest enjoying their life because they brought this game absolutely to life. Some games so sleepy, aren't they? And it's all about tactics. Teams getting in behind. Midtjylland now are behind. They know that the game's getting really stretched, and they're leaving massive gaps. And Forest are just picking them off. I think they could grab a third and fourth goal here tonight. Forest have been absolutely brilliant so far.
Yeah, they have. Can they take this to the Premier League at the weekend? Well, incidentally, what a great game that's going to be. Spurs coming off the back of a good victory on the night against Atletico Madrid. Nottingham Forest coming off the back of probably their best performance in about 2 months, as we see a ball whipped in and headed away. Simsier brings it down, plays the ball to the right-hand side. That's great from Ndoye. We've not said his name once, have we, yet, this second half? But there he is getting involved. He loses out there to Cho. Then he gives a little shove in the back, and that's good work from the striker as well. So many talking points in this game. We always say it when myself and John cover games. We never do a bad game together. This has been a great watch so far. Ndoye applauds the work effort either of the referee for getting that one right, or potentially his teammates in the build-up. But 58 minutes on the clock if you are just tuning in. Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 2. 2-1 on aggregate to Forest. They've turned this tie right on its head. As we now see Osorio, he's not been great today, has he, so far? As we see Castillo just boots the ball off Dominguez and out of play for a throw. But the home side, now they're losing overall in this one. They have to open up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a cracking good game. I never look forward to the games that we do because you never know what they're going to be. And so I'm always, pleased to be surprised when a game really catches your imagination. And, these two teams at it now, hammer and tongs. And, yeah, for the Danes, they're going to be out of Europe. This is a playoff game. It's important. Oh, the ball comes in, another good set piece. It gets a little flick on, this time for a Forest body. But in the end, Ortega gets it, and he will launch the ball long.
Yeah, it's a big boot from Ortega. Long. Header well won by Bravo, but it's not a great one. Well cleared in the end from back. Now it's going to be Milenkovic who gets there first, but his clearance only goes as far as Simsier, driving at his man once again into the penalty area. Still going, checks back up against Yates, keeps it once more, still on his left boot. He looks to hang it up towards the back post. It's a decent ball. Morato heads away, it skims off his head. Jow, the centre half, keeps it alive. He whips in a wicked ball, comes off the head of Castillo, and he puts it way wide.
I was looking the movement of Cho and all that. I thought it was great. He stood off. He stood just the edge of the box there, just waiting and waiting and waiting. The only time he gets a bit of contact is when Zach Abbott meets him and is able to hand him off. But I thought, while Victor Back was down that left-hand side, I thought, that ball's going to go to Cho, and he's going to show us exactly what Kieran thinks of him, that he's a good player. Mind you did tell me that Biscoff was a good player, and I don't think he kicked the ball in the first half. Yeah. So you never know, and it's just like certain games are set up for certain players, So you never see the same game twice, do you? Dan and Doy having a poor night still tonight. Yeah. We gave him the big build-up, and since then he's done nothing. But we're going to see a trio of changes now for Forest.
And probably the three most reliable Forest players coming on, aren't they? Nico Williams has come on for Dan and Doy. Murillo is going to come on. Gibbs White is coming on for Hutchinson, and Murillo is coming on for Milenkovic. Well, my only problem that's going to happen here, if this happens, is if Nottingham Forest move to a back four on the hour mark again, like they did last week against Midtjylland, it's going to make me want to pull my hair out. Because this back three has been working. It's been working. It worked for the first hour against Midtjylland last week. They changed it, and it stopped working. I don't know if they have done it. It doesn't look like they've changed away from the back three. Thank the Lord for that, because it's been working. They've been really good today, and those players coming off have performed well, and Milenkovic can relax for 30 minutes with his migraine.
Yes, right. I mean, Hutchinson, I thought he'd had a great game tonight. I wouldn't necessarily have been taking him off, but I think it's spelling players, making sure that that they've got key cogs who are not in the red, that they're all rested up. So that's probably the reason as much as anything else.
Yeah, as you now see Dominguez. Of course, there's the massive game on Sunday as well to prepare for, hence the substitutes, hence why you'll have seen the likes of Gibbs White and Murillo and Williams not really start this one. 30 minutes to end off the game, keeps them well and truly with the match sharpness going into it, as we now see Lee across for Jow. He's going to be ready to hang it up in behind. Like we said, it just feels like such a big game. Of course, on Sunday against Spurs, it feels like the loser of that really could go, couldn't they? As we now see Gibbs White opens it up towards the left-hand side for McAtee. Williams turns away, plays it down the line. It's going to come off Osorio. Is it going to go out for a play for a corner kick? No, it isn't. And a big goal in the Palace game. They've conceded to Larnaca, so it's 1-1 now, which means it's back level on aggregate as well. It's Sabarai with the goal, which could spell for extra time for our colleagues.
Yeah, what a shame. Well, we still might get it. We laugh up our sleeves at this, but
yeah, we're going to look at each other in 10 minutes at 2-1 on the night, Midtjylland 2-2 on aggregate, and think we should not have said anything.
I know, that's it. But here we go, McAtee.
And here's McAtee on the left-hand side with a good opportunity. Just stands on the ball for the time being, turns away, plays a poor ball down the channel, just slowed it down that little bit too much, and then Osorio plays it off his man, and that's going to go out of play for a corner kick. Now that is a really poor bit of play from Osorio. And Nico Williams, one thing he really does add is a lot of energy. We're going to see if it was the right decision from the
double
line.
kiss.
It's the double kiss, just almost grazes off him and out for a corner, which is ready to be whipped in now. I'm always a big fan of Nico Williams. I think he offers quite a lot defensively and going forwards. Bakwa ready to take this corner kick on his left boot. It's going to be an out-swinging delivery.
He's come into the game a bit, hasn't he? Yeah, we said he was the worst player on the field for the first 15 minutes, but he turned it around, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's certainly been more influential. That's a decent delivery into the middle of the area. That bounces off the head of Murillo, but completely away. Defending for the wrong side there. As you see, McAtee cuts onto his stronger left foot. He looks to hang it in. Murillo leaves it for Dominguez. Takes it first time, puts it almost into Rowe's head, and that's not one to look back on. He'll be reminiscing more on his goal in the first half than that.
I was going to say that, forget that, and focus on his looping header that got them 1-0. It was no more than they deserved. What a goal for the second goal as well from Yates. You know, Ryan Yates, he puts himself about. He doesn't start, does he? Even though he's the club captain. But when he does come on, you know what you're going to get, full-blooded in it. And very occasionally, he hits the ball and smashes it in. We've been lucky enough to see that tonight. What a hit with his left boot. The pace on the ball. I mean, you know, we were saying that Olofsson's a good goalkeeper. I think he is. I think he's Premier League standard. But the ball was past him before he dived, and it was a super hit. And then when we think about what Ortega's had to do tonight, I can't really remember him doing anything, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he almost got caught out in possession once, didn't he, Ortega? But apart from that, not really too much has happened. Good challenge in from Dominguez, but he gives it away straight away. We now see Osorio coming forwards to the right-hand side. He finds Zhao, poor touch from him, keeps it in play just about up against Nico Williams. Finds Osorio once more, cuts it back for Simsier, back to Lee. And this is a little bit better from Midtjylland. Simsier moves his way out to the right-hand side to get on the ball a little bit more. Ball in towards Osorio. Carries it to the left. Just doesn't seem a lot of attacking presence at the moment. Or a real ball carrier playmaker for Midtjylland. We now see Lee coming forwards with it. Plays it out towards Simsier.
Look how loaded the box is there. Yeah. They've got four in the line waiting for a good cross to come in, don't they? A little bit of movement, but... Forest defended that really stoutly, and off they go now, counter-attack.
And here's Gibbs White on the attack. Can't get that in the end. He's frustrated with his teammates there. Tulberg gives it out to his man. But yeah, John made a great point. There was a few players in the penalty area, no one willing to take the risk to actually whip it in though. And in the end, it was a waste of an opportunity. Chose a big striker, a big tall striker who's got a great header, incidentally, last week against his Nottingham Forest back line. So got to get balls into him for him to attack. We now see Lee carrying it forwards. He's got options to the left, but he's going to go straight through the heart of the midfield himself. Goes to the left this time, and then they're forced all the way back. 66 minutes on the clock. Midtjylland 0, Nottingham Forest 2. 2-1 on aggregate to Vitor Pereira's side. And Vitor Pereira looking for a second win in charge of Nottingham Forest. Both would be in this competition. Has to translate that form in towards the Premier League as we get to the crunch end of this season. Forward ball up to Cho. Decent touches from him. He plays a terrible ball down the line, completely overhit and out for a goal kick. It felt like a rare moment where Midtjylland were just looking after the ball for a little bit, but it comes to nothing in the end.
Yeah, they've had nothing in there. They're trying to be patient, but, you know, I don't know when patience is going to wear out. They realise that they're going out of Europe. You know, they've been so strong, haven't they? So good this season as well, and good in this competition. But you know you get to the playoffs and it can all end very abruptly. You know, 2 legs and they're in good shape, weren't they, after the first leg? But they'd be unused to having their colours lowered at home. But the truth is, they've been thoroughly outplayed. They're through 67 minutes, and they've been second best. Forest, they could be 3 or 4, couldn't they? They weren't getting any luck before that first goal went in, and then we thought it was thoroughly deserved. But yeah, they could have buried them by now.
Yeah, I think Beck Sorensen's just gone out and maybe given a lift to the crowd, told them to maybe get behind the side that little bit. They've all gone to their feet and started clapping and started jumping around. Well, they needed something, didn't they, to really get going, this Midtjylland crowd. As we now see Sorensen ready to launch this in towards the front post. It falls towards Lee, but it's well cleared away by the Nottingham Forest man backward. Sharp turn from Osorio on the halfway line. Good composure shown from him. Back to the left for Sorensen. He's got options to aim for in the penalty area. Opens it up, whips in a decent ball, and there's the head of Cho. It bounces into the box. What a finish that is from Ehrlich. Well, the rallying cry from Sorensen worked, and it falls to Ehrlich in the penalty area. The finish of a striker from the centre half. What a hit on the volley into the roof of the net. We're back level on aggregate, 2-1 on the night. It's game on once more. Oh, well, I've just realised what we said as well 10 minutes ago. Laughing at them for going to extra time.
Well, there we go. We're all at it. Do you know, I was just thinking, some of the fans had sat down the far side. They stood up when they'd got a throw in. Yeah. But I thought the ball's not been cleared, and everybody stayed in the box. We talked about that about 2 minutes ago. They couldn't get the ball in, but there were 4 in the box. And it's like, you know...
well, that's what Lucas should have done with his finish.
Well, yeah, exactly. But if we build it, they will come, kind of thing. It's like they're all waiting for a ball in, and eventually it comes in, and so they finish it. It's a great finish from Martin Ehrlich, and we said Ortega had nothing to do. There's not much he could do about that. Volleyed in very crisply from about 8 yards, and he's got no chance of saving that.
No, he doesn't. What a finish! Vitor Pro is straight back to the notepad. As Osorio watches on. All really came from his really good bit of play on the halfway line, just to turn away from a couple of challenges. He felt like he needed that moment as well. But with that, 69.5 minutes on the clock. It's Midtjylland 1, Nottingham Forest 2. 2-2 on aggregate. It's game on. It's been a fantastic game to watch. It really has. And it'll be John's 33 to full time.
Yeah, so, they Forest were in front. They were on top. And now it's even Steven, and then you're reminded that Forest are away from home. Midtjylland with the crowd now who applauding and on their feet, and on their feet now for another throw from Victor Back Jensen. So can he deliver? The roof will come off if this one goes in. But anyway, it gets played short. There was an opportunity down that left-hand side to try and swing the ball in. They go near post, a little touchback, but it's been well read. Chance for a counter-attack now. Ball to McAtee. First touch was great, and then he's fouled and brought down. It's got to be a card. Got to be a card. And it is. So, a great first touch there, and then just a leg hung out. Is that Castillo with the... Yeah, no, Osorio with the foul. The Chilean, who's been putting himself about all night, really.
Yeah, it's a clear yellow card in the end from him. He just completely boots through. Maybe he didn't even need to do it. He might have thought he was the last man. McAtee's not the quickest. There's about 5 Midtjylland players just sprinting either side of him. I don't think, even if he'd have beaten Osorio, he would have beaten many of them. But we now see Backer who's gone down with cramp.
Yeah, he has not had much game time tonight, has he? We look at the volley that snapped in. It's just weight of numbers. They win the first header, and that's so typical. That's typical Midtjylland. Win the first header, get a little flick. If it breaks to you, somebody thump it in. They've been doing that for, the last, 10 years? They've got their methods, and, you need to watch. They gamble with numbers forward, but they gamble off set piece. They know that they can quickly get back. If they leave players in the pocket there, they've got pace at the back to stop a counter attack, and as we just saw, they're not frightened of leaving a leg in if they need to do that. So that's the way that they roll. It's sort of percentage football, but it's a lot more clever, and it's not as stilted as you might think. It's very productive football, is how you'd call it. Virtually everybody now has got a long throw expert in their team. back was cramped up, and I don't think you come back from that. It looks like Forest are going to have to bring another sub on. He reckons he's all right. Looking at the bench, I mean, I suppose you could go Ola Aina or something like that. If you wanted to be more expansive, then maybe Elliot Anderson. I'm not sure what they want to do now. Anyway, the ball is with Lorenzo Luca. He lays it back, and they're waiting for bodies to come, and it goes all the way back to Murillo, and then for Morato. The two Brazilians swap the ball between them, and then with Yates, he gets it back. All of a sudden he's under a little bit of pressure, goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. So Midtjylland 1, Forest 2, but it's 2-2 on aggregate. Forest have been great in this game, but it's 73 minutes of a game, and there's still quite a lot of this game to negotiate. We've seen some massive turnarounds in Europe, but it's usually when the home team are able to express themselves, it could be anything like 2 or 3 goal turnaround, as Sporting showed against Bure Glimt in midweek Tuesday night, wasn't it? Anyway, it looks like Elliot Anderson and Ola Aina both getting ready. I promise you I've not seen them, but I guess that back was definitely one of those. Who else is going off?
Yeah, that would be interesting. Well, they brought on the big dogs, didn't they, moments ago in a trio change that just didn't work quite clearly. Gibbs White not being able to make his mark. Murillo, not really. Nico Williams has been the most involved. Another long throw-in coming in, though.
It does. 2 Forest players go up for the header. They're able to scrape that one away. A shot comes in from the edge of the box. It breaks Simpson, and now he goes on a little run and clips the ball to far post. Overhit that.
Yeah.
Those flags behind the goal of Ortega have never stopped rolling around. They're really well supported, aren't they? And the Danish crowd really get into supporting their team. So, they've been quiet tonight for a long time. But, last 15 minutes are going to be as big as anything. So, like I said, we're going to see Ola Aina come on, who he's a cracking good player, in my opinion. I think... He'd had his problems with injuries and he's come back, so he's still building up to that. So McAtee goes off and backwards the other one. That was obvious, wasn't it? Because he'd cramped up, and I just think he's probably not that match fit.
Yeah, feels a really strong 11 now out there, doesn't it, for Nottingham Forest? A lot of their key players on the field of play, the likes of Elliot Anderson and Gibbs White together in midfield. A.K. Lanniker have got a red card now against Crystal Palace, which might spur on the Eagles to find a late winner before needing extra time. We see Aina instantly steps in too strong for Sims here. 75 minutes on the clock, still 2-1 to Forest on the night. 2-2 on aggregate.
Yeah, so Ola Aina with the throw. I'm desperate for the Palace game to go to extra time, and for a goal in this anyway. I'd be hoping that Forest could re-find some of that zest and zeal that they had in the first half as Nico Williams on the ball, and he's just held off there. He couldn't get round. Diao was just too strong for him. That ball spun round the corner again. Our referee, I think, has been very poor tonight, who doesn't seem to want to keep up with play either. He's like a centre circle referee who keeps getting it wrong. For me, Felix Swire, maybe he's not feeling well, but it's not a good performance from him, in my opinion. Anyway, ball flicked forward, looking for Luca, but it's going to be booted away by the goal scorer of that third goal, Martin Ehrlich, the Croatian. Really tidy finish. Ball into midfield for Dominguez out of his feet, and then scraped forward by Nico Williams. Elliot Anderson tries to get there. The ball is hooked away. Comes off the back of Nico Williams, and then it just got a little bit too big on Yates, and the ball's gone out. Will be a throw. But plenty of time left for somebody to get that all-important next goal. As we see Lee, a little semicircular find Jiao. Tight to touchline right hand side. He launched it over the halfway line. They've got 3 strikers at the minute. As Ola Aina lets the ball bounce. Simsir then catches him late. Shouldn't let the ball bounce then, should he really?
Yeah, I thought it might have been a little bit worse than what it actually was on live viewing. He more just kicks the bottom of the boot of back rather than back kicking through all the way. It went for the ball in the end. Maybe a little bit unfortunate back. I mean, if you're going for the ball, where else is he actually meant to put his boot?
Exactly that, but it always goes against the man who screamed and gone on the floor. Anyway, long ball forward looking for Luca, doesn't find him. Ball nodded up in the air. Keeper will come, Olafsson, and claim that comfortably. So, yeah, we've got a good game. I wonder with Pereira, I know that he... you looked at the team and obviously you thought, well, yeah, it's a big game at the weekend and all that. But then they were playing so well, I'd have been loath to keep those players, to change the system that was working. I mean, why take Hutchison off unless he's perhaps going to start the weekend? Anyway, the ball given away. Nico Williams now is driving into the box. Chance to take on its opposite number. Cut back not quite good enough, or is it just it's well read by Pedro Bravo? But either which way, that bomb diffused. And now Dominguez having to chase after his man. Castillo keeps on going down the right-hand side. It's a good little drag back there. Gets the ball at his feet. Simsier now flicks it with his outsteps. Not good from him. And brilliant stuff from Murillo. What's his pass like? Great. It's brilliant. A brilliant ball out to the right-hand side for Morgan Gibbs-White. It's got Luca in the middle. Don't run offside, kid. Morgan Gibbs-White, little step over, a chance for a strike, and he tried to catch the keeper out near post. Olafsson, too cute for that. Lovely footwork that allowed him his strike at goal.
Well, that was brilliant from Gibbs-White initially, but yeah, you just got to aim for that far corner, put your instep through it, and just try and bend it into the far corner. He doesn't. He tries to catch the goalkeeper off guard. When you go for something as unexpected as that, it's going to be tricky on your weaker left foot as well, because you've got to get it real perfect to really catch the keeper out. If you go across the face of goal, anything can happen. And he just didn't. It's a great counter-attacking opportunity. It's getting almost a little bit end-to-end, isn't it, at times, which is perfect for us.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to watch. There's 10 minutes left of regulation play in this game, and it's 2-2 on aggregate right now. Anything can happen in the next 10 minutes as the ball is cleared down the line for Elliot Anderson. Lovely turn from him. He was being fouled, I reckon, but Elliot Anderson then picks the ball up. He's looking to drive forward, beats the first man. And then he comes into contact. He keeps on going. Eventually, he goes down. He's screaming at the referee. You're going to get nothing from this referee. He needs to be somewhere near play to actually be able to give it. There's bodies down all over the place, and he's just allowing Midtjylland to carry on. Now Simsier keeps on going. He's looking for the defence splitting ball. It's not a bad one. Then there's a foul. Surely by Castillo. It's not being given. The ball rolled across there. 2-2. Come on, referee.
Yeah, what are we seeing? That was a picture when Elliot Anderson went down. Well, we're going to see a strike from distance from Bravo. Falls into the path of Cho. Goes for goal. Big save from Montegri. Almost claws over the line. And he just about keeps it out. There's the chance for Cho that he doesn't take. When Anderson went down at the other end, if you used to show a still image or a 2-second video of the Nottingham Forest fans in the corner, you'd have actually thought they scored because they were waving their arms that much. They stood up. They all were just going mental towards the referee in disbelief, but they were going that mental jumping about that it just looked quite funny in the far corner. And then a big chance on the counter. There could have been a couple of fouls. He's not the tallest of keepers, is he, Ortega? He makes himself massive at that near post. I mean, that is a big save at this stage.
And all that after a foul on Morato in the build-up to the Midtjylland chance. And, of course, Elliot Anderson now hobbling away and his arms out to the referee. Said, what are you playing at? Genuinely, I've said it, but I don't think the referee's fit. And he doesn't seem to be up with play. And he's made so many mistakes here, it's untrue. You know, if I were marking him tonight, I'd be giving him 3 out of 10. And it's not good enough at this level. I'm thinking he's that bad. He needs a job in the Premier League. Anyway, it is 2-2. The game open-ended now, and that's a poor foul, I think, from Murillo.
He's not giving it.
Well, I felt certainly that at least he had to spot that. It's like I'm waiting then to bring you in, Kieran.
That's not a foul. That's a dive.
Anyway. Murillo, he keeps on going now. He's at the other end. He gets the ball out of his feet. Oh, he'd done all that hard work. And then Nico Williams, brilliant from him to keep the ball in. And then the ball is just pounced on by Diao, who's able to clear his lines. Great work from Nico Williams. I think Diao actually did well, played the ball off him. we're looking at what was the dive from Sincere then? Why did he book him for that then if he didn't feel? I don't think there was any contact. So it should be surely it's simulation and a yellow card. Anyway, we'll break off. I can't explain it.
Hasn't it? This has been a great game.
Well, it's almost like there's something on this game. You all that league nonsense. The league stuff been quite interesting, but you get to play a football. It's different gravy. All that Aina now with the long throw straight at the keeper, and as soon as you said it was great, then we see something very mundane.
It's like when we laughed at them for going to extra time. Look at what we're set for.
I know, absolutely. Anyway, it's somebody's going to be bailed out by late goal. I'm hoping it's us. I hope it's a Forest goal as well. But those who back Midtjylland or a draw, they're hoping it's the other way around. I'm sure listening to us, thinking that you're mad. Anyway, a ball comes in there, and does the ball really come off Castillo's head? We'll take another look at it. He felt it came off the shoulder of Murillo, and I'm not sure he's not wrong. But let's take another look. Yeah, it skims off his head actually. So they should have got a corner kick, but listen, the amount of decisions you're not going to get off this fella today, I can't, he's rubbish, mate. He's rubbish. So it is a goal kick, and taken by Ortega. 15 attempts from Forest to the 9 from the home side. As ahead of 1, Morgan Gibbs White tries to get in the end of it, he can't. Then the ball just spooned up in the air by Mads Beck Sorensen. And then Lee comes out, referee spotted something or another. All the players look really angry, don't they? And they're all angry with the same fella, the referee. There might have been a foul in there from Anderson. But listen, you might as well foul because, he's not even a 50% success rate you've given him. So that leads the players to do whatever they want. He spots one there, and then it's a free kick. And again, from the halfway line, a lot's got to go right for Midtjylland for this to be good. The ball comes in, nodded away by Nico Williams. Ball breaks back. Nico Williams got some defending to do as Midtjylland gets the byline. It's come off the toe end. It's really spirited stuff there from Osorio. I'd forgotten he was on. But really good driving run, and he's won his team a corner kick, and they are good. They are good, and they've got lots of big targets. No Billing anymore, but Cho's on. Ehrlich's proved to be a handful in the box. They go to the near post. That's been picked off. A real opportunity for Morgan Gibbs-White. There's only one other person in the frame with him. How many legs has he got here? He puts a great ball forward now to Ola Aina. Shot comes in. It's tipped over. I'm not sure that was going in. What a great move. Ola Aina's out on his feet. He's only been on for 10 minutes. What a great run from him and a brilliant pass.
Yeah, Ola Aina. I mean, he's got to do better for me. It's brilliant from Morgan Gibbs-White, who's driving and driving and driving. He's got all the energy to show, and he plays a great ball for Ola Aina. Gets it out of his foot, out of his feet. He just opens it up too much. It bobbles. He's almost swung his right leg a little bit too much, which then makes him go on a stretch because the ball travels a little bit too much in front of him. It means he's got no control over his strike. In the end, loses all control. It goes very high, very central. It was probably rising over the bar, wasn't it? It was that poor.
I think he's a little bit unlucky. The ball just bobbled up just before he was able to hit that. But they've got a corner kick. Ball comes in then. It's not being cleared. Yates making a nuisance of himself. Ball fired in. It might just break out for them. It won't. And eventually that ball from Pedro Bravo just thumped down the field. It will be a throw for Forest. About the halfway line, Gibbs-White goes all the way back to his keeper, who chips it up in the air, finds all in, and nice control from him. And then he scoops the ball out, and it will be a throw for the home side. This time, no long throw. Vita Pereira looks on. He's already pulled out a lot of his hair tonight. Just sat there looking pensive. And the last thing that he would want is an extra half hour loaded onto his team's workload for tonight. It's sort of double-edged sword, isn't it? Playing in Europe, but we were talking about it for the Forest fans tonight in Denmark. in a nice place, in nice surroundings with nice people. What's not to like? And they'll have a cracking night one way or another. And the other thing to be said is that their team are playing well. So even if they don't progress, they can be proud of their team tonight and go out and have a good night. So there's worse things, isn't there, for football fans? So, but the other side of things is that he has the workload, and obviously that can make it a difficult season. Anyway, they'll be hoping to survive it, and with spirited play like we saw, particularly the first half, albeit from the second string, they might just do that. Ball rolled forward. Is there a little foul from Pedro Bravo? It looked like that. He's been getting away with murder all night, and that should be his second yellow card, in my opinion. And he should be off. There's no attempt to play the ball behind Yates, pulling at his arm, pulling his shirt, and he gets the yellow card he deserved ages ago.
Yeah, yellow card in the end for Bravo. I mean, yeah, I thought he should have got booked. I don't think that's as much of a yellow card challenge. I don't think Yates is really going to cause too much of a problem there. But we now see a free kick ready to come in. 88 minutes on the clock. It's felt free-flowing in this second half as well in terms of stoppage time. And it goes across everybody into the hands of Laughs. And they've tried something clever towards the front post with a dinked ball in behind. That doesn't work in the end.
Yeah, Morato close to nod that in. Great play by Morgan Gibbs-White. I don't know if he meant to dummy it, but anyway, well, the ball just bounced over him, but it was trouble. Now Osario making a little break, and he toe bungs the ball forward.
Oh, wow.
It's great play by Castillo now. He's driving forward into the box. He goes. He falls down. He was under pressure there. I don't think there was a foul in there from Murillo. He's down holding this, that, and the other. I tell you what, when you tangle with Murillo, you tend to end up second best. He's such a big, strong boy. Great first touch, though, wasn't there, from Daniel Castillo? But you don't want to get tangled up with this big fella.
Yeah, I think he maybe just grazed his studs along the top of the head of Castillo by accident as he went down. That first touch is sublime, isn't it, from Castillo, just to take it round him. I think he was just a little bit weak in the end. It's quite the heavy fall for him as well, because he almost falls forwards, doesn't he? He's leaning forwards the whole time, loses his footing, and in the end it goes behind for a corner. Well, all of this game he's missing is some late drama. Let's see if we can get a goal before extra time.
Yep, so anyway, it was like heavyweight against the welterweight there, but it is a corner kick. He's such a strong fella, but anyway, so I'm seeing now what's he got. Well, it's a terrible ball, nodded away at the near post. That's not quite what the doctor ordered, and then the ball booted all the way back to Olafsson. He'd be closed down by Gibbs-White, but there's a long ball. Ola Aina should win the second. No, he doesn't, though. And the ball's just going to bounce into the hands of Ortega. And it looks like there must have been offside because he ran out of the area with the ball in his hands. I'm thinking that's unorthodox.
No, they were miles offside in the end. They were really offside, all those Midtjylland players. We've hit the 90th minute. No indication of how much stoppage time we've got as of yet. 4 minutes of stoppage time, so not too long. And of course, if this does go to extra time, it'll be myself who misses probably the first 30 minutes of Roma Bologna, which is a shame. Looking forward to that one.
Well, it ain't over till it's over. I'm expecting a goal because we didn't jinx ourselves in the first half by mentioning extra time, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. So anyway, Ola Aina and his long throw now, it's going to mean something, or is it? So we're waiting for it. Elliot Anderson made a good little run there, and now still waiting. There's a lot at the near post, waiting for a flick on. It's headed away. It's going to be a corner kick. Not a great defensive headed at. The ball booted up in the air in the end by Osorio. But here's an opportunity. Can they out-juke the masters of dead ball? Elliot Anderson puts the ball down. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger from the left-hand side. We've already played a minute of added time. Can this be it? Anderson then puts a decent-looking ball in. It's fought for at the near post. Ball's going to break out. Then Diao wins the first header, and then he goes on a galloping run. But the ball comes off his boot end a bit weirdly. And in fact, it was Castillo. Anyway, it will be a throw. Nico Williams looking to take it, or he does, and eventually goes back to Elliot Anderson and picks the ball up. Gets the ball out of his feet. Dominguez then drills the ball to Nico Williams, scraped it forward, but he's on a different wavelength with Gibbs White. He's shaped to go and then check back, and one of those things. I've got my fingers crossed here, but it looks like both us and our fellow commentators who are going to be cursed with the extra half an hour that we didn't want any more than Vitor Pereira wants it. You know, there's a little foul there on Murillo.
I think this is also not going to be wanted by Vitor Pereira. More so, you've rested these players, and the only reason they wouldn't have started today is because of Sunday. Well, they're going to get an extra 30 minutes as well as about 30 minutes anyway. These are all going to have played a lot more football than Vitor Pereira will have wanted in this mid-week. So this is going to be really frustrating for Nottingham Forest when it feels like they can't catch a break. It continues. I guess if they win, all will be forgotten because it'll be a massive victory for them and their side season for the confidence, etc. But they're going to get a chance.
Here's Ola-Aina into the box. What's he doing? Well, he cuts the ball back. It's been just about dealt with by Ehrlich, but it's going to be another corner. We're a minute and a half left of this game. Can Forest just save themselves the bother of an extra 30 minutes? Coming on strong at the end. Ola-Aina's been desperate to get forward. Weird, really. But anyway, can he do something? Elliot Anderson puts the ball down. His last delivery was all right. Can they get something going at the near post? So Murillo, Morato, both in there. The ball comes in, up go the heads. Keeper really good there because Ola-Aina is jumping right in front of him, but he's done really well. Now chance for Midtjylland to work their way out. Some good play there. As now they're trying to break forward. The ball gets too long. Castillo's been a willing runner all night. As Forest long ball aimed forward there, and then Elliot Anderson tries to win it. The ball won back by Forest high up the field, and they've through Yates there just won the ball back. He's had a good night tonight. Long ball forward, headed back where it came, and this game in its its last stanza really of 90 minutes of play. And the referee looks like he's got the whistle to lips. So there we go. We are booked in for an extra half an hour, and we'll be back shortly.
Extra time is upon us in Denmark after it finishes 2-1 to Nottingham Forest on the night and 2-2 on aggregate. Dominguez's bullet header pulled them back level for Nottingham Forest in the first half, and they took the lead through a wonder strike from Ryan Yates in the 52nd minute. What a hit from his left foot across into the far top corner then. But then things were all level on aggregate again. Ehrlich with a lovely strike from the centre half, and extra time is upon us very shortly. Extra time is upon us in Denmark after it finishes 2-1 to Nottingham Forest on the night and 2-2 on aggregate. Dominguez's bullet header pulled them back level for Nottingham Forest in the first half, and they took the lead through a wonder strike from Ryan Yates in the 52nd minute. What a hit from his left foot across into the far top corner then. But then things were all level on aggregate again. Ehrlich with a lovely strike from the centre half, and extra time is upon us very shortly. Extra time is upon us in Denmark after it finishes 2-1 to Nottingham Forest on the night and 2-2 on aggregate. Dominguez's bullet header pulled them back level for Nottingham Forest in the first half, and they took the lead through a wonder strike from Ryan Yates in the 52nd minute. What a hit from his left foot across into the far top corner then. But then things were all level on aggregate again. Ehrlich with a lovely strike from the centre half, and extra time is upon us very shortly. Extra time is upon us in Denmark after it finishes 2-1 to Nottingham Forest on the night and 2-2 on aggregate. Dominguez's bullet header pulled them back level for Nottingham Forest in the first half, and they took the lead through a wonder strike from Ryan Yates in the 52nd minute. What a hit from his left foot across into the far top corner then. But then things were all level on aggregate again. Ehrlich with a lovely strike from the centre half, and extra time is upon us very shortly. Extra time is upon us in Denmark after it finishes 2-1 to Nottingham Forest on the night and 2-2 on aggregate. Dominguez's bullet header pulled them back level for Nottingham Forest in the first half, and they took the lead through a wonder strike from Ryan Yates in the 52nd minute. What a hit from his left foot across into the far top corner then. But then things were all level on aggregate again. Ehrlich with a lovely strike from the centre half, and extra time is upon us very shortly. Extra time is upon us in Denmark after it finishes 2-1 to Nottingham Forest on the night, and 2-2 on aggregate. Dominguez's bullet header pulled them back level for Nottingham Forest in the first half, and they took the lead through a wonder strike from Ryan Yates in the 52nd minute. What a hit from his left foot across into the far top corner then. But then things were all level on aggregate again. Ehrlich with a lovely strike from the centre half, and extra time is upon us very shortly. Extra time is upon us in Denmark after it finishes 2-1 to Nottingham Forest on the night, and 2-2 on aggregate. Dominguez's bullet header pulled them back level for Nottingham Forest in the first half, and they took the lead through a wonder strike from Ryan Yates in the 52nd minute. What a hit from his left foot across into the far top corner then. But then things were all level on aggregate again. Ehrlich with a lovely strike from the centre half, and extra time is upon us very shortly. Extra time is upon us in Denmark after it finishes 2-1 to Nottingham Forest on the night, and 2-2 on aggregate. Dominguez's bullet header pulled them back level for Nottingham Forest in the first half, and they took the lead through a wonder strike from Ryan Yates in the 52nd minute. What a hit from his left foot across into the far top corner then. But then things were all level on aggregate again. Ehrlich with a lovely strike from the centre half, and extra time is upon us very shortly. Extra time is upon us in Denmark after it finishes 2-1 to Nottingham Forest on the night, and 2-2 on aggregate. Dominguez's bullet header pulled them back level for Nottingham Forest in the first half, and they took the lead through a wonder strike from Ryan Yates in the 52nd minute. What a hit from his left foot across into the far top corner then. But then things were all level on aggregate again. Ehrlich with a lovely strike from the centre half, and extra time is upon us very shortly. Extra time is upon us in Denmark after it finishes 2-1 to Nottingham Forest on the night, and 2-2 on aggregate. Dominguez's bullet header pulled them back level for Nottingham Forest in the first half, and they took the lead through a wonder strike from Ryan Yates in the 52nd minute. What a hit from his left foot across into the far top corner then. But then things were all level on aggregate again. Ehrlich with a lovely strike from the centre half, and extra time is upon us very shortly. Extra time is upon us in Denmark after it finishes 2-1 to Nottingham Forest on the night, and 2-2 on aggregate. Dominguez's bullet header pulled them back level for Nottingham Forest in the first half, and they took the lead through a wonder strike from Ryan Yates in the 52nd minute. What a hit from his left foot across into the far top corner then. But then things were all level on aggregate again. Ehrlich with a lovely strike from the centre half, and extra time is upon us very shortly. Extra time is upon us in Denmark after it finishes 2-1 to Nottingham Forest on the night, and 2-2 on aggregate. Dominguez's bullet header pulled them back level for Nottingham Forest in the first half, and they took the lead through a wonder strike from Ryan Yates in the 52nd minute. What a hit from his left foot across into the far top corner then. But then things were all level on aggregate again. Ehrlich with a lovely strike from the centre half, and extra time is upon us very shortly. Extra time is upon us in Denmark after it finishes 2-1 to Nottingham Forest on the night, and 2-2 on.
And we will leave that just there because we are back underway in Denmark for this Europa League round of 16 second leg clash. It is Midtjylland 1, Nottingham Forest 2, and we're underway in extra time. It's 2-2 on aggregate after Midtjylland won 1-0 in the first leg. We see Nottingham Forest instantly on the attack. Olarena, ball across looking for Lorenzo Luca. Takes it into his stride. He finds the bottom corner, but there's an offside in the build-up. An offside straight away in the build-up. It looked like Forest had regained the lead instantly. I think, well, it has to be Lorenzo Luca that goes just a bit too early. Olarena looks up. He is miles offside. He's a whole body offside. What a start to the half that would have been for Nottingham Forest. Well, it's been a game filled with drama. It's only myself, Kieran Graham, to bring you coverage of this one. Of course, I was on with John Hogan. He's gone to set up for our next game because, of course, we have duty at 8 o'clock. Roma hosting Bologna at 8 o'clock, which myself and John are going to be on. with this being in extra time, it means I'll have to join him around 25 to 30 minutes into that game. So it'll be just myself to bring you through the coverage of the extra time and potential penalties if needed, as we now see Lee in possession. Well, it's Dominguez who put Nottingham Forest in the lead with a great header on the night to level things up on aggregate, and Ryan Yates to double their lead on the night and put them in the lead overall with an unbelievable hit from distance. He lashed it into the far top corner on his left boot. It was an unbelievable strike from him. And then around the 70th minute, Ehrlich levelled things up on aggregate for Midtjylland, the centre-half, with a lovely volleyed finish into the roof of the net. Osorio's just brought his man down and given away a free kick. So 92 minutes on the clock. Elliot Anderson gets us back underway with the free kick. And of course, Vitor Pereira will have made all these changes because of the changes to the starting lineup, because they've got a massive game on Sunday against Tottenham. In the end, he's ended up subbing all these key players around the hour mark, and they're going to have to play a lot of football anyway in extra time. So it's not ideal, probably the worst case scenario for Nottingham Forest in this one. As we now see Abbott, he finds it in towards Sangare. It's Abbott again, across towards Murillo. He's going to look for a dinked ball in behind, looking for Yates. Well intercepted by Ehrlich as Yates comes across. Can't get a foot in, and it's well cleared. It's going to be brought down by Murillo, who clears his lines. He finds Sangare. Now it's going to be across for Elliot Anderson, who plays it for Abbott. And then Abbott goes all the way back towards Ortega. And Ortega's going to boot it long up for Yates. He dummies it in behind for Luca. And Luca, who's in possession now, finds the ball across for his man. Now it's going to be a long ball that goes all the way in behind towards Cho. Cho flicks it on for Castillo. He goes down holding his head, and the free kick got given very delayed by the referee. It's going to be a yellow card as well for Murillo. Well, the referee wasn't even going to give the free kick, so how can you then give a yellow card if you didn't even think it was a free kick? The referee's been extremely poor today. John was heavily talking about that fact during the 90 minutes. Really poor from the referee. I mean, how on earth is that a yellow card for Murillo? I will not know, but he's of course been booked, so we'll wait for this free kick to be taken now. It's going to be with the defence, goes all the way across to Sorensen, and now Sorensen in possession finds Ehrlich. Ehrlich switches play to the right hand side. It's a decent ball, but it's well headed away by Marato. Poor touches from Elliot Anderson, who's not been able to make his mark in this one as of yet. Nice turn from Osorio. Plays it middle for Bravo. Goes to the right hand side as well. They of course made a change that I've only just noticed as well for Midtjylland. They brought on Gabriel for João. Sangare came on for Dominguez. So there's a couple changes. One change apiece for either side in this extra time period. So Gabriel for João, Sangare for Dominguez, as we see Olarena into the penalty area with an opportunity. He flashed it across the face of goal. Poor delivery from him in the end in what could have been a real good opportunity. And we now see Gabriel go down, and he wins a free kick, but a great chance coming forwards there from Nottingham Forest once more. It was Olarena who's been so attacking since entering the field of play. He's been really involved in the attack so far. He's basically been as a right winger. As we now see the ball with Olafsson. He's going to play it to the right-hand side. Picks a nice pass for the centre-half, Lee, who's going to look long. And Lee looks to play it down the channel for Castillo. Takes it in his stride. Finds Elliot Anderson. Now it's going to be with Olarena on the right. Plays it in for Elliot Anderson. Nice ball to him. And Elliot Anderson's just wanting them to show for him a little bit more. It's been really poor in the final third since making all the changes for Nottingham Forest. He dinks it in behind, looking towards Yates. Luke is trying to keep it under control. It's bobbling about, and in the end goes into the path of Sangare, who plays it all the way back for Murillo. And now it's going to be with Gibbs White. Gibbs White plays it for Marato. Sangare across for Murillo again, who's going to carry it into Gibbs White. Opens it up onto his right boot. And he's still going himself. Elliot Anderson goes all the way across, and it's well intercepted, and Sorensen can play it down the channel. And now we see it with
Simsier, who finds Bravo. It's been a more quiet start to this extra time period. The actual game within 90 minutes was a fantastic game between these two sides. Was thoroughly enjoyable. As we see a switch ball go all the way out to Simsier. And now we're going to see Yates go down under a fair challenge from Osorio. Surprised to see he's still on the pitch, because Osorio is, I mean, he's not necessarily been too great, has he, in this one? He's also on a yellow card. And we now see Nico Williams. He switches the play out to the right-hand side. Great ball for Luca. Takes it down first time with a layoff for Yates. 97 minutes on the clock. It's Nottingham Forest advanced in towards the final third. Elliot Anderson gets a little bit of a whack to the neck from Castillo, but play continues. Abbott plays it down the line for Elliot Anderson, who's been pulled the whole way by Bravo. Has got to be careful here. He takes Anderson down in the end, who goes down. No free kick given, and Anderson is raging with the referee. Bravo comes away with it. And how on earth have Forest not got a free kick there? Murillo's late on his man. He's on a yellow card, and there's no free kick given again. And this referee has been ever so lenient. Give 3 yellow cards in the first half. He's already given a yellow in this one, but the challenges is just not coming back for us. Yates hits another one on his left foot. Well, he had a taste for it, did Ryan Yates. Got an absolute beauty in that first half on that left foot of his. Oh, of course, this time he lashes it towards the near post. Poor strike from him that goes miles wide, but a big opportunity for him to give them the lead. As we now see he's ready to go across. It's once again being taken towards Nico Williams. And now we see Murillo in possession. Of course, Crystal Palace did go to extra time as well. They're currently winning now in extra time. Just scored thanks to a goal from Ismail Issa, his second goal of the game. Feels like he's their main source for goals at the moment. As we now see the ball go for Elliot Anderson. Sangare back to Anderson again. And we're going to see it once more for Murata. Feels like Nottingham Forest are just dominating the general play at the moment in this extra time period. Castillo plays it in behind. It's intercepted. Goes into path of Murata. Nice play from him just to bring it out. Murillo still in possession. He's going to hook it all the way across for Ortega. And Ortega now plays it for Murillo once more. It's with Sangare, who's going to turn away from his man and carry it forwards. Plays it to the right-hand side of Elliot Anderson. He plays a really poor pass. That's unlike him. Gives it straight towards Simsier, who cuts inside. Good work from Anderson. If you make the mistake, go and make up for it. That's exactly what he did as he goes to find Morgan Gibbs-White. Now it's across towards Elliot Anderson, who finds Gibbs-White. He's going to hang it in towards the penalty area, and Olafsson takes it into his grasp. 99 minutes on the clock. No real big chances in this first half of extra time. Luca had the ball in the back of the net in the opening 30 seconds of it, but he was offside. We now see the header won by Cho. Abbott wins his header, and then he wins the second ball as well, but he can only touch it out of play for a throw-in. So a mistake at the back from them. As we now see back with the ball in hand. Ready to take this one. And he's going to go all the way towards the left-hand side to Simsier once again. He's been bundled down. Well, I wasn't sure if we were going to get joined again by John, because as I mentioned, we've got our game at 8 o'clock, but John's joined us back for a bit.
Yeah, I'll give you 5 minutes, mate, in case you get sore throat. So yeah, I've been watching it while I've been doing the other stuff. So I just saw Yates' shot, which was decent. Again, you know, who's going to blink first as Olaina takes the throw? It's he's deep in his own half at the time. They're both battling for the ball. Elliot Anderson there and getting a shove. They both look tired though, don't they? Both sets of teams, even though they've both made loads of changes. And it looks like Midtjylland about to bring somebody else off the bench. So I wonder, and now you think about penalties as well, as Luca's held back there. Surely it's got to be a card. And then Yates, he gallops on. I think the referee might have allowed a play on there. Luca picks it back up. There's so much this referee just does not get. and he was a million miles away from it again. I talked about him. I don't think he's fit as he tries to get a little flick on. He's done well enough to stab it back there. Was that Sangare on?
Yeah, Sangare did come on for extra time, but the referee's made some awful decisions in extra time as well. There was a terrible challenge on Elliot Anderson, just completely ignored. A yellow card was brandished to Murillo for what for? I couldn't really tell you. It's just one of those slightly clumsy challenges into the back of a man, but it definitely shouldn't have been a yellow card. It was just an aerial battle, and Ehrlich is going to be booked for his challenge moments ago. 102 minutes on the clock in this one. We've hit a stage, like I said, where both sides just looking quite tired, which is the worst outcome for Vitor Pereira's side. They needed to be energised for the game at the weekend away from home at Tottenham Hotspur. It's such a big game.
Yeah, massive that. Ehrlich looked like he's amazed then when he got carded. I don't know how he dare. Honestly, I don't know how he dare. But he will miss their next game. Anyway, the skipper takes the ball away. Beck Sorensen, but it breaks to Elliot Anderson in the middle of the park now with Nico Williams. Forced backwards, and then the ball spooned forward by Morato. It's not a bad effort though. Gibbs White rises for the ball. What's the referee given there? I don't understand it. Anyway, offside perhaps. Flag up. But Chilufya is the man who's about to come on. So again, maybe fresh legs out there, and there's one or two run their race. I think both Osorio and Castillo both had absolutely worked their socks off tonight, and I'm not surprised that Chilean Osorio is off. Yeah. But I don't think he'd been great, but you can't fault the work rate,
Yeah, of course he's on a yellow card as well. So Edward Chilufya, 26 years of age from Zambia. He's ready to enter the field of players. Only ever played in Sweden and Denmark in his career. Played for Djurgården and Häcken over in Sweden. Hasn't scored yet this season in the league as the forward, so it hasn't been a great campaign for him, but let's see if he can make his mark. See Bravo turns away from his man. He's going to drive forward straight through the heart of the midfield. Bravo should have been sent off at the start of this extra time period. It was a really poor challenge on Elliot Anderson that wasn't even given a foul.
Was it sort of a yellow card that should have been his second yellow? Because I felt he should have got a yellow before he actually got his booking. Maybe that was for accumulation, but for me, it sort of gilt-edged fouls. We saw him dead early, didn't we, when he was just too strong and leant in and won an early challenge. But after that, he'd been pretty reckless, I think. But this referee, like I said, he'd been playing so far away from it, he's never caught hold of it. Oh, there's a real late one there. And the referee's got to surely book Gabriel there. He's so late there, it's untrue.
And knee straight to the back of the leg. I mean, that's a dead leg waiting to happen, isn't it?
It's a dead leg, and those are the kind of things that you don't come back from at the weekend. If you get a big lump of muscle, that potentially could be him out. He's going to have to pick himself up and keep on going here. It's been a real bruising encounter, this. It's exact. I mean, apart from the fact that Pereira got a performance out of his team, particularly in that first half where they were head and shoulders the better team, but it almost couldn't have gone any worse in respect to the amount of miles they're putting on the clock right now. I mean, nobody's been stretched off on nothing terrible like that, but it's just it's so hard of a game, and it's not what they wanted. They wanted to be done and dusted by now. Anyway, the board's gone up. There's just 1 minute, which I think I can just about manage, and then I'll be rushing off, and we'll be at the Stadio Olimpico for Roma against Bologna. As Sincere, great ball forward. There's two there. If they can get on it, shot comes in and it's beaten away. It's a good effort there by Cho. Yeah. But I mean, he caught it crisply. It was straight at the keeper, more or less. And that might be the last good chance of the half.
Yeah, it's a decent strike from Cho. It just swivels too much towards the centre. I think another thing where we're talking about Nottingham Forest really didn't need extra time. I don't think their players really need penalties as well. All it takes is a key play. You miss a penalty, the confidence is shot as is going into the Premier League games. You lose a penalty shootout, it is the worst, most demoralising way to lose a game of football. As the corner's whipped in, headed away by Luca, who of course had the ball in the back of the net 30 seconds into extra time. He was ruled offside. It was a whole body offside. It was really poor from him, actually, to get caught offside. But that is half-time of extra time. Going into the break in Denmark, it remains 2-1 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. 15 minutes left, and we could be looking towards penalties. Be back very shortly. Half-time of extra time in Denmark. It's Midtjylland 1, Nottingham Forest 2 on the night. 2-2 on aggregate. Still both sides at all level overall. It was, of course, Yates' unbelievable strike to put them in the lead to make it 2-0 on the night. But the leveller from Ehrlich is what keeps us still playing going into this break at half-time. Be back very, very shortly for 15 minutes left and potentially penalties. Half-time of extra time in Denmark. It's Midtjylland 1, Nottingham Forest 2 on the night. 2-2 on aggregate. Still both sides at all level overall. It was, of course, Yates' unbelievable strike to put them in the lead to make it 2-0 on the night. But the leveller from Ehrlich is what keeps us still playing going into this break at half-time. Be back very, very shortly for 15 minutes left and potentially penalties. Half-time of extra time in Denmark. It's Midtjylland 1, Nottingham Forest 2 on the night. 2-2 on aggregate. Still both sides at all level overall. It was, of course, Yates' unbelievable strike to put them in the lead to make it 2-0 on the night. But the leveller from Ehrlich is what keeps us still playing going into this break at half-time. Be back very, very shortly for 15 minutes left and potentially penalties. Half-time of extra time in Denmark. It's Midtjylland 1, Nottingham Forest 2 on the night. 2-2 on aggregate. Still both sides at all level overall. It was, of course, Yates' unbelievable strike to put them in the lead to make it 2-0 on the night. But the leveller from Ehrlich is what keeps us still playing going into this break at half-time. Be back very, very shortly for 15 minutes left and potentially penalties. Half-time of extra time in Denmark. It's Midtjylland 1, Nottingham Forest 2 on the night. 2-2 on aggregate. Still both sides at all level overall. It was, of course, Yates' unbelievable strike to put them in the lead. And we will leave that just there because we are back underway in Denmark once again. It's 15 minutes remaining. It's all or nothing for these two sides, or we will find ourselves heading for a penalty shootout. It's still 2-1 on the night to Nottingham Forest, 2-2 on aggregate. The goal scoring got underway today through Nicholas Dominguez in the 40th minute. Bullet header from him into the far corner as Yates flashes one across the face of goal. Well cleared away. Nottingham Forest then doubled their lead to take the lead overall as well. Through Ryan Yates, what an outstanding strike it was on his left boot. The pick of the bunch into the far top corner. It was an unreal hit from him, and it looked like it could have been the deal sealer really for Nottingham Forest, but out of nothing, Ehrlich popped up with one. It was a lovely finish from the Midtjylland centre half. And it's taken it all the way through to extra time. There was a couple talking points in the first half of extra time. No real big chances, but Luca had the ball in the back of the net in the opening 30 seconds of that period. But he was a mile offside, which the flag went up after he found the back of the net. No changes to bring you half-time of extra time. As we now see Sorensen turns onto his right boot. He's still in possession as well. He's going to go all the way back for his teammates. And we now see them in possession once more. Can they have a strong half here? And then there's a long ball up towards Sims here. Takes it into his stride. It's a poor touch from him that's going to go all the way through. And back into the path of the throw-in. Ready to be taken by Sorensen. Is it going to be a long throw-in? No, they're going to stay in and around the normal positions. He goes short. He gets it back up to Sorensen. 107 minutes on the clock. It is just myself, Kieran Graham. I know John, he nipped in to help me through for 5 minutes in the first half of extra time. But that game and the game that I'm meant to be on right now, Roma Bologna, is underway. So you can catch just John on that service. We'll keep an eye out for that game as well. Make sure I'm not missing out on too much as
as soon as this game is finished, whether that be extra time or penalties, I'll be heading over to that game as Yates goes down under a challenge, and I think he's got a bit of cramp. As Yates doesn't play too regularly, does he? At the club level in the Premier League, he very rarely gets any form of starts, does Ryan Yates. We just see him back his strike now, and I mean, what a hit it was from him to give them that lead overall, the 2-goal cushion. He'll be frustrated. He'll be really frustrated, the fact that they went and conceded. And again, through Ehrlich. It was a lovely finish, though, from Ehrlich, wasn't it? The centre half. We're now going to see this free kick ready to be taken. Ball's ready to be whipped in. And it has been whipped in, easily headed away by Olorena. It's going to fall all the way through to Midtjylland, though, who are back on the front foot. Again, it's on the right-hand side. Ball into the penalty area is a terrible one. That's going to go all the way through. And it's going to be cleared. Header well won by back. Ball to the left is a poor one. And it was Chilufya with the cross. Really poor from him. That goes out of play. And see this throw-in ready to be taken now. It's going to be in the hands of Olorena. He's just wanting a bit of movement from his side. As he turned them to all just kind of skedaddle away from him. Ball in behind towards Luca. Can he get there? He's putting a real shift today. Has the tall man, and he's not fouled his man, but he couldn't get back up in time. The big man. And it's a waste in the end. Sangare with a poor first touch. Now it's going to go in for Castillo. Turns away from his man. It's going to be Sangare who goes into the challenge. Now it's Cho. Plays it down the line for Castillo again, but once again it's intercepted. Goes out for another throw. It feels like Midtjylland have more control in the second half period of extra time. As we now see that challenge again. I mean, how on earth was that not a foul from Luca? Probably couldn't quite believe it when he was told to stand back up. No wonder he didn't get back on the end of the ball, because he didn't think that he'd need to get back up. As we've got about 10 minutes remaining of this, and it feels like, doesn't it, that we're destined for a penalty shootout. Let's see if that is the case. As we now see the ball going behind. It's once again in the middle of the park, ready to be attacked for Midtjylland, who have the ball back once again. They're going to have to turn away with it, though, and go all the way back to Olafsson. And Olafsson's going to boot it long down the right for Castillo. Doesn't win his header. It's going to go all the way through to the substitute Gabriel. Elliot Anderson's gone down on the deck now. A bit of a shove from Nico Williams towards Castillo. A bit of frustration between a few players. And I mean, the Nottingham Forest players that got rested have had to put in a real shift. They all look tired as well. And that is a problem. If you're a Spurs fan watching this, you're probably delighted with what's occurred today for Nottingham Forest. Extra time would be perfect. I think if you Leeds, West Ham and Spurs, I'm not sure if you'd rather Forest win or lose this game of football, because if they win, of course they get that feeling for winning, but it means they have to play extra games further down the line this season as well. Sangare, ball in behind, goes towards back, who turns away. Ball in towards Castillo, who picks it up. He's going to drive forwards to the right-hand side for Gabriel. Back to Castillo again in the middle. And in the middle, it's going to go to the left for Sorensen. Sorensen plays it down the line, well intercepted by Olorena, and it's a nice turn from Simsia as well. Murillo steps in, Simsia goes in once more. Olorena turns away from his man, good challenge in, but the referee brings it back for a free kick earlier on in the build-up, which has frustrated the Forest players. Like I mentioned, the referee just hasn't had a great game. We're going to see the challenge back on Simsia. Should it have been a free kick? No, it shouldn't. Murillo got the ball completely. As we see the Midtjylland fans dancing around, loving life for the time being, trying to almost spur their side on for the moment. See if they can help push them through. And we now see a long ball go up towards the back post. The header's won by Gabriel, but into the hands of Ortega, who picks it up. And the Nottingham Forest players don't necessarily seem in too much of a rush, do they, to get out from it. Ortega plays it down the line. He gets Nico Williams into a full sprint, but doesn't find him at all. And in the end, it's a poor ball and a poor clearance from Ortega. Gifts it straight back to Midtjylland. As Castillo turns away from his man. And it's going to go all the way through to the path of Lee. Hand boom. Finds AILFC. Back to Lee again. Of course, the goalkeepers will have already been doing their homework on potential penalty takers. Ortega's a smaller goalkeeper, so AILFC might back himself a bit more to be the difference maker, especially the home advantage as well. If it is to go to penalties, it doesn't look like anyone's going to find a way to score a winner, does it, in normal time? As Shilufia with a handball, and Elliot Anderson's having a right go at the referee. I'm not sure if he's going to get booked for what he's about to say, because he's still having a go towards the ref. He's not happy with what's happened his way, and he's now been booked and knew he'd talk himself into that yellow card. Elliot Anderson, who can't believe the referee's decision, but he's just non-stop been speaking to the referee, and Elliot Anderson's absolutely fuming. He's not happy at all. He looks frustrated with himself to pick up that yellow card, and then looks to the sky, because it means that if they do go through, he misses the first leg of the next match. So what a miss he's going to be for the next leg. Maybe another reason as to why he got rested today and they didn't want to use him. So more frustrations. It means he gets rested in the first leg, but not really what they'd want from such a key player if they are to get to a quarter-final of the European stages. We now see Murillo turns away from Ortega. Ortega's going to boot it long with just 6 minutes remaining. It's all the way up towards Luka. Doesn't win his header. Ehrlich is in there to head away once again. And now it's going to go in behind for Luka. And then cleared by Lee. Decent clearance from him as well. And it's going to go all the way through towards Gibbs White, who goes down under the challenge. We've not really said Gibbs White's name at all in this extra time period as a whole. He's kind of just not really got involved. The last thing they'd need is for him to almost overextend at all, maybe get an injury at any stage. And it feels like Gibbs White has taken this extra time period, or been told to take it, very light, not get involved that much, which it's felt has been the case. As we now see Elliot Anderson put both arms up. He's going to hang it up towards the back post, straight into the hands of AILFC. What a terrible delivery that was from Elliot Anderson in the end. As we now see the ball go all the way through towards Gabriel. He goes down under the challenge. Nothing given. And now the free kick's given. The referee, once again, he's so late making the decisions that players continue playing for a little bit while after the decision's made. So it's just so unclear at the moment what on earth is going on from the referee. The Midtjylland fans have all stood up on that far side. They're all stood down. They're trying to get behind their side for potentially a strong end before we maybe see penalty shootout. And a penalty shootout, the most nerve-wracking thing in football for a fan base, especially when what's at stake is, of course, something as big as Europa League quarter-final, which could be ahead of them. We now see the ball with Bravo. He turns away, plays it all the way through to the left-hand side. It's a heavy ball that goes all the way through for a goal kick in the end. So frustrations linger and continue for Midtjylland in what's been a really sloppy extra time period. It feels like extra time is always quite sloppy, isn't it? I covered another 5:45 extra time game on Tuesday, Sporting Lisbon, in my 3.5 years of doing this job. It's probably my favourite game I've covered. Was absolutely outstanding, that game, and that comeback from Sporting Lisbon, as we now see the ball with Ortega, ready to boot it long. He's going to take the goal kick, and he does go long. It's still 0-0 between Roma and Bologna, 13 minutes into that game. As soon as this game is finished, I'll be heading over to join John on that one. As we now see the ball with Simsia. Plays it back once again for Sorensen, with not much time remaining in this one. Both sides still seeming so tired, aren't they? As we now see a ball down the channel, it's going to ricochet through. Great turn from Sangare. Plays it down the line for Elliot Anderson, who picks the pass for Olarene. He's going to look down the line for Lorenzo Luca. What a ball it is for Luca as well, who's going to get there on the left-hand side. He's not 1v1 against Ehrlich. Cuts inside. He's so slow. Luca doesn't have the pace to really try and beat a man in that race. And we now see Williams goes towards the right-hand side. Anderson whips in a wicked ball, and there's the header! What a header that is from Ryan Yates, who's done it once again. And the offside flag has gone up. The offside flag has gone up once again. Well, what a goal that would have been to win it for Nottingham Forest. As mentioned, the flag is up for the time being. Let's have a look. Elliot Anderson picks it up, he whips it in, he goes early, and he doesn't need to. How frustrating for Ryan Yates, because what an unbelievable header that was. What a header. And unfortunately for him, he doesn't get that winning moment. VAR are still looking at it. Well, on the first glance, it looked like he was offside. Maybe another angle might do him the better justice, because VAR are still having a look at this one. As Ryan Yates, he's saying it has to be close because he knows he was on the shoulder of his man. He's frustrated. It's Ryan Yates. It was a great header from him. It was an unbelievable header from Ryan Yates. The referee's still waiting for indication. Of course, it's offside. It should be the automated system that gets this done pretty quickly, as the referee's still in discussion with the VAR team, and the Nottingham Forest players and fans will be watching on nervously for the time being, praying that they get the decision in this one so they don't have to go to a penalty shootout. And confirmation, he is offside. Gibbs White just looks to the sky as if they're not getting any form of luck from that decision. And the Midtjylland fans all celebrate again as it gets ruled out. And Vitor Pereira is probably just thinking, will my side catch a break at any point? As we now see that once again, yeah, he just leaned offside. I think it's his head, it's his shoulders, as that go that little bit too soon. Ball in behind, well headed away by Murata. Now it's Castillo who plays it towards the left-hand side. Sangare steps in. Nice play from him. And then it's going to be hooked forwards. All the way forwards as well. Abbott with the header. Not a great header from him. That goes in behind. Well brought down by Sims here. Now it's Sorensen who plays it down the channel. Olarena steps in. Finds Abbott who clears his lines. And he can only boot it out for a throw-in. So a case of what we've seen so far, the long throw-ins with 2 minutes of added time. This 2 minutes, when it's up, if there isn't another goal, will lead us to a penalty shootout. It's been a great game of football. The extra time period hasn't been the best. The 90 minutes was outstanding to watch between these two sides, really going for it. And Sorensen ready to launch this in for one final chance for Midtjylland. Sorensen towards the edge of the box, headed away by Gibbs White. Can they create the chance? As there's a strike from distance that goes miles over the bar. That's a big waste in the end from Bravo, who, like I just said, hammers it over the bar. Felt like the final chance for Midtjylland in this one. And I don't really know why he's hit that. Felt very desperate, didn't it, from Bravo, as he just laces through it and puts it miles over. Ortega's going to boot it long. The header, well won and brought down by Bravo. Can they create the one more chance with a minute remaining? Back loses out, and here come Forest on the counter. It's Luca who's got options to the left, plays it in the middle for Yates. He falls over on the ball. He finds Elliot Anderson. Forward ball for Luca. Good take from him, but a really poor ball in behind. The clearance from Ehrlich is a bad one. Now it's Yates, and Nottingham Forest are going to have the final chance of this game. It fails, as we now see it with Erna on the right-hand side. He's going to play it across for Sangare, who's going to look to cut it back for Olarena with an opportunity on the edge of the box. He hangs it up into the area for the head of Gibbs White. Skims off the head of Ehrlich. Nico Williams is claiming there should be a penalty. He's not going to get that decision anytime soon. And the referee waves play it for the goal kick. It looks like we're set for a penalty shootout. It did skim off the head of Gibbs White in the end, and that is probably going to be that, as this goal kick's ready to be taken for Olafsson. Well, plenty of goals, plenty of talking points, plenty of moments in this one, but the referee blows his whistle. I'll be back very shortly for a penalty shootout. Well, it's going to have to be penalties that separate. And it's going to be penalties that separate Midtjylland and Nottingham Forest as it's 2-2 on aggregate after 120 minutes tonight. Nottingham Forest win on the night 2-1. Dominguez with their header. Yates with an unbelievable strike to put them 2-0 up and 2-1 up on aggregate. But Ehrlich's leveller meant that these two sides will be going to penalties, which start very, very shortly. And it's going to be penalties that separate Midtjylland and Nottingham Forest as it's 2-2 on aggregate after 120 minutes tonight. Nottingham Forest win on the night 2-1. Dominguez with their header. Yates with an unbelievable strike to put them 2-0 up and 2-1 up on aggregate. But Ehrlich's leveller meant that these two sides will be going to penalties, which start very, very shortly. And it's going to be penalties that separate Midtjylland and Nottingham Forest as it's 2-2 on aggregate after 120 minutes tonight. Nottingham Forest win on the night 2-1. Dominguez with their header. Yates with an unbelievable strike to put them 2-0 up and 2-1 up on aggregate. But Ehrlich's leveller meant that these two sides will be going to penalties, which start very, very shortly. And it's going to be penalties that separate Midtjylland and Nottingham Forest as it's 2-2 on aggregate after 120 minutes tonight. Nottingham Forest win on the night 2-1. Dominguez with their header. Yates with an unbelievable strike to put them 2-0 up and 2-1 up on aggregate. But Ehrlich's leveller meant that these two sides will be going to penalties, which start very, very shortly. And it's going to be penalties that separate Midtjylland and Nottingham Forest as it's 2-2 on aggregate after 120 minutes tonight. Nottingham Forest win on the night 2-1. Dominguez with their header. Yates with an unbelievable strike to put them 2-0 up and 2-1 up on aggregate. But Ehrlich's leveller meant that these two sides will be going to penalties, which start very, very shortly. And it's going to be penalties that separate Midtjylland and Nottingham Forest as it's 2-2 on aggregate after 120 minutes tonight. Nottingham Forest win on the night 2-1. Dominguez with their header. Yates with an unbelievable strike to put them 2-0 up and 2-1 up on aggregate. But Ehrlich's leveller meant that these two sides will be going to penalties, which start very, very shortly. And it's going to be penalties that separate Midtjylland and Nottingham Forest as it's 2-2 on aggregate after 120 minutes and we will leave that just there because the penalty shootout is ready to get underway. I believe it may be Nottingham Forest who step up first. What a big moment. Of course, at stake is the Europa League quarter-final. The referee's just having some words with Ortega and AILFC, basically going through the simple rules with them. Make sure you stay on your line. Bologna have taken the lead as well away at Roma. Jonathan Rose just scored an absolute beauty. He was unbelievable in the first leg, and he just hit a thunderous strike to give them the lead in that one as well. And I will be hopping on that game as soon as this finishes. But we're now just seeing Morgan Gibbs-White ready to take the first penalty. Big moment in both of their seasons. For Nottingham Forest, it's been a dull season for them, a really dull season at Premier League level. They're still in their relegation battle, and they're just hoping to have that one thing to celebrate. And today would be massive to get into a Europa League quarter-final. Still awaiting this first penalty to be taken. AILFC wasting a little bit of time. He's just gone to have another sip from his bottle, and we now see Gibbs-White plays the ball on the ground, has one look at the goalkeeper. He takes a deep breath, does Gibbs-White, takes another one. The referee blows his whistle as well. Gibbs-White for the first penalty of this penalty shootout. Still just eyes on the ball. He starts his run-up. It's a stuttered run-up as well, and it's a good penalty. The goalkeeper goes the right way as Morgan Gibbs-White celebrates towards the Midtjylland fans. He gives maybe that nod of approval towards Ortega. He gets a hand to it. AILFC, there's just too much thunder, too much venom on the penalty from Gibbs-White. And now it's going to be Cho who steps up for the penalty. He's getting the mud out of his boots, the bottom of his boots there. Of course, he scored in the first leg. He scored the only goal at the CT ground with a bullet header. He's now got a big penalty coming off the bench today. Wasn't able to have too many chances. Had one opportunity where he forced a save from the goalkeeper. But a big moment in this game for Cho, as he's ready to step up. It's a very central run-up from him, as he hooks across to the left, and he's going to take his penalty. He's hit the post. He has hit the post. It's a poor penalty from Cho. He sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. Didn't have to be as precise as what he was. He was looking at the goalkeeper the whole time. Was the forward. A poor penalty. He hits the post. Well, it's advantage Nottingham Forest. And Cho can't believe it. The Midtjylland fans can't believe it as well. If you're going to miss a penalty, make it as early as possible to try and recover from the errors. And now AILFC is going to have to do something special for Midtjylland. It's going to be Sangare who steps up for the second penalty. He's taking this step up, taking the run back, and the referee blows his whistle. Sangare, a pretty central run-up once again. It's a great penalty into the far top corner. What a penalty that is from Sangare. The best of the three so far, and the Nottingham Forest fans, well, their trip to Denmark might be well worth it. They've seen their captain score a worldie in normal time. What a hit that is from Sangare as well to score that penalty. The double advantage for Forest now, who are 2-0 up on this penalty shootout. Simsia takes the ball into his stride. He's going to be the man who steps up for the next penalty. Of course, the winner of this will face up against the winner of Stuttgart and Porto. So a tricky fixture, no matter who it is that they face. As it's going to be Simsia. Big penalty in this one. It's currently 2-0 on penalties for Nottingham Forest. As the referee blows his whistle, Simsia takes his run-up, must score, it feels at this stage, and he's hit the post! He's hit the post again! How many times do you see that happen? It's the same post! They've both penalties. I mean, I can't believe what we've seen. Simsia crashes it off the post. Both penalties missed for Midtjylland. It feels as you got to this stage, you've got through 120 minutes. How is your luck? Well, it's non-existent, is it? Does Ortega get a touch? No, he doesn't. It's just completely off the post. I mean, in a game that's given us a little bit of everything, well, it well and truly continues to do so. As we now see the big penalty coming up for Nico Williams. Massive penalty. 2-0. Of course, to Nottingham Forest at 3-0. It's practically done. As Nico Williams ready to take this one. And he's got AILFC to beat. The referee blows his whistle. Nico Williams with a stuttered run-up once again. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Well, Nottingham Forest are surely going to win this one. Now Midtjylland have to score all three penalties, with Nottingham Forest missing their next two for them to have any chance of taking this to a sudden death. I mean, Nottingham Forest can basically call themselves winners right now. 3-0 up on penalties. It's Shalufya who steps up for this one. Well, there's not real pressure because they've already missed the first two. If they hit the post again, then they've surely broken a record. I mean, they probably have done, hitting the same post twice in their opening two penalties. But we now see this ready to be taken. Chilufya with it. He's going to open his body up, a central run-up, then shift to the left for a right-footed strike. He slipped, and he's put it over the bar. Midtjylland have missed all three penalties on Nottingham Forest. Go through to the Europa League quarter-final. What a tie it's been. Well, they've missed all three penalties, and Ortega's not had to save one in the end. Thank you for joining. It's Nottingham Forest who win 3-0 on penalties.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the